The actual Karl Marx. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I appreciate it so much. 34 counts. 34 counts. I can't, like, y'all, I don't fucking believe it. After it feels like between this and Russiagate, we've been waiting for literally any kind of fucking accountability for so goddamn long. And to have a unanimous verdict, guilty on all charges of felony charges. Dizzy C, so what does guilty mean? Is he actually going to jail? Is it just Epstein all over? It's hard to say. So I want to tune in really quick to the live feed from right outside the Trump trial. Okay, that's not going to work for me.
And,
let's go to YouTube.
This is how America is supposed to work, and I feel very happy.
Like, as you can tell, I came from just from like working out. Queer Panda, thank you for gifting 1 dead domain membership. Oh, I didn't know you guys could do that on YouTube. Well, so here's the thing that I really want to talk about, because I was going to go live in like an hour, because today is a really big day for streaming shit, because they have the Stoney State of Play, and I was going to react to that, and then I was definitely going to react to the Silent Hill thing, and I was going to cover the cast review later today. But as I was literally going to make an announcement, because I've been working all morning, I finished up some writing, did some script writing, and went for a run with the dog, came back, relaxed for a little bit, and as I was literally, like, I'm still a little bit flushed and worked up from the run, I decided to go live here because I saw this, and I'm like, I fucking have to. It's insane. Let me, if my computer is so excited, it doesn't want the smoke. Let's do NBC. Okay. So here's the real thing that is here. The true question for me is, and I feel like everybody else is like, okay, it's like we've made it this far, right? He's been brought up on charges. He went to court. He did all the shit. He got his mugshot taken, and it kind of I feel like a lot of people wanted it to feel real for so long. And now,
and underscore, I think it's necessary.
Okay, here we go.
How unusual this is. This is not any other criminal defendant. As much as people have said that, he's not just any other criminal defendant. And the judge is going to have a really tough situation here in sort of balancing all the competing factors, making sure he's paying attention to the case law, making sure he's paying attention to, obviously, to any past precedent that applies to these types of felonies in this type of situation. But this, again, will take weeks and weeks and months. And of course, he's entitled to an appeal. This is not the end of the road for the former president. There is plenty on this record to appeal. There are plenty of legal arguments. It's always hard to challenge a jury verdict, but there are plenty of tricky, complicated legal arguments in this case that the former president can marshal in his favor in terms of doing that appeal. And typically, in this kind of a case, you're going to hear the former president say he gets to stay out of prison while that appeal goes on. So it's not as if he would be behind bars or in custody while that appeal is going on.
That's a super important thing to also
many
keep in mind.
Accommodations acknowledging that this A is a former president and B is a presumptive nominee for his party?
Yes, in one big way, Lester. And the biggest way is that he had 10 separate violations of a gag order. He was ordered not to attack witnesses, and the judge found him in contempt of court 10 different times. I say that because any other defendant would have been in a heap of trouble for that. And I'm not trying to discount the fine that he faced for that.
Audrey
But
Rose
any
Beavers, I
other
think that's a
defendant
very
would have
low,
faced jail time for that.
very
and
low.
the judge went on the record many times
Logan
saying,
Manchin Gates,
please
congratulations.
don't do this.
Donald
I
Trump
don't want
just
to put
got-
you in prison, but I may have to if you continue to violate the gag order. Now, we haven't heard much about the gag order, but that gag order is going to be in place while this case continues on, at least through sentencing, and then we'll see where it goes with that. But he is, as of this moment, still under that gag order, Lester.
Well, a couple notes from the courtroom while we were talking, not surprisingly, as
I'm going to see if I can try and get a different, I guess maybe NBC News here will have a better, I really don't like this bottom forward thing they're doing. Yeah, so, oh, did I misspell Cass? I put it up very quickly. Like the question is, because this is a, did I do that? Like, why the hell? Sorry, my computer is freaking the fuck out right now. He can't run after this, surely. So the problem is, so much of this is completely unprecedented, so to speak. Like there has never been, like, first off, there has never been a former president who is sat on charges, multiple felony charges have been brought up against them. Like, it just hasn't happened, right? And then there hasn't been a president who was successfully charged with those, found guilty of them by a jury. Hasn't happened. And then certainly not during an election season where they were the presumptive nominee. Like that, we've literally never seen anything like that in the history of America. So there's like really almost no saying what will happen. Yeah, I'm having trouble getting video to show. Also, I'm trying to shut some stuff down in the background. Some just like random tasks and stuff I have going that will hopefully help, I think. Because if you guys couldn't tell, I was absolutely not prepared to stream. When it was announced yesterday, that, okay, the Trump people, like, they're trying to reach a verdict, I thought just based solely on everything that is riding on this, based solely on everything that we know about the trial, it would take a lot longer. But the fact that it took like barely a day of deliberating, like, yo, I've been on jury duties that have fucking longer deliberations. All right, let me see if I can.
There's been a question mark as to how this would affect him in the general election. We have seen some polling, including some new numbers out today, suggesting that about 2/3 of Americans say even if he were to be convicted, as we now know he has been, it wouldn't change their vote. They would still vote the same way. That said, anywhere from 10 to about 25% of independents suggest that it may make them less likely to vote for the former president. Still, Savannah, a hypothetical is very different from the reality that we now face. Let me point something out here, because people may have this question. Can Donald Trump still run for president even though he's been convicted? He sure can. Yeah. There is nothing in the Constitution that prohibits or precludes him from this, unless the Republican Party were to, for example, come up and say, we don't want you as our nominee anymore.
Which
Let me tell you why
won't
that's
do.
not going to happen, because we are already hearing from the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, the top Republican, of course, in the House of Representatives, calling this essentially a shameful day in American history, describing what he sees as the weaponization of our justice system. Remember, this is somebody who showed up at court while Donald Trump.
All right, let's see if AP got my back. There we go. Okay.
Country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from the beginning with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case. Never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon?
Are you going to drop out?
Are you going to drop? All right, let me see if we can go back a little bit and get the full Trump speech. Oh, no, somebody says I'm a gamer. Yeah, I don't use my PC for gaming. It's not even a PC, it's a laptop. Like, it's Ryson in the chat has seen it. They know my computer, so, like, I really need a computer upgrade very badly. It's a miracle I'm able to edit as much as I do. Okay. Yeah, let's get a little bit closer. I want to get all of the cope, because here, essentially, his entire public, he's kept the same persona around every appearance he's made related to the trial, right? Like, he's been nothing but belligerent and called on the judge to throw it out, says that the judge, everybody is controlled opposition, everybody is out to get him. Like, that's been the narrative from Trump. Of course it has been. Nobody ever expected anything different. Yeah, it's Windows. I mean, it has Windows 11. Yeah. Somebody buy. I would love a new PC. I don't know. Somebody gave me a PS5 last year, so I don't think I feel like I've reached my limit for the amount of generosity I can take from y'all motherfuckers. Jonathan, thank you very much. Let's play complete the sentence. I did everything right. Yep. Is it Jover for him? No. And so that is the thing, is that it is so, like, it has taken 4 years of Trump not being president, on top of the 4 years that he was, and doing crimes, like actively doing crimes. Like, this is how long it took to just pull him up on the wire fraud charges, on charges related to Stormy Daniels. Like, they've never even approached ideas around how he subverted the emoluments clause, about how he profited from his time in office. Like, this, to my knowledge, these counts had nothing to do with, like, the fucking documents that were stored at Mar-a-Lago. There are so many things that Trump has done that he will likely never see actual legal consequences for. And so I feel like a lot of people have gotten very, understandably, like me too, like, I fully expected nothing out of this. But the fact that a sitting former president who is, again, the presumptive nominee, I was just thinking about it. There's nobody else still running on the Republican ticket. Like, at all. Like, nobody is still running on the Republican ticket. It's been presumptively Trump, like, since before CPAC. And I think I talked about that a little bit, even though, like, at CPAC, the air was, okay, who's the VP pick gonna be? Yeah, Ryson, it's kind of like getting Al Capone on tax evasion. Like, it very much is. It's like, yo, we know Al Capone murdered people, or had people murdered, or was involved in drug running and prostitution and all this other shit. But you get him on what you can get him on. And, I don't know, Nikki Haley, like, she just put that disgusting fucking message on a missile, to Palestine, and I don't, like, man. All right, let's get a little bit closer here. He just did a very brief, all right, here, I think here it was, very brief statement. Don the Felon. I love the fucking people showing up because I have been. So here's another major concern, right? That I think is obviously he's going to appeal. I don't think the appeal will hold up. I think he has been found guilty. The thing I am most worried about, and I've been considering this because I've been thinking of doing a kind of retrospective piece on QAnon lately, but the cult of personality around Trump. It is not. Oh, here he is. Remind me to talk about the cult of personality around Trump. Ha! Somebody just asked, "Are you worried about going to jail?" That is a fucking broken man.
Disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man.
Fuck.
And it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win. Because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble, but this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon?
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon? Oh my God. The peanut gallery laying it like those reporters have held on to those for so long. Like they're not the kind of thing that reporters they know they're not going to get an answer. If they ask Trump, hey, why should people vote for a convicted felon? He's not going to answer as he's walking away, obviously. But you got to throw it out because it's so, like, you only get one opportunity, right? Yeah, so the worrying aspect of this, I think, is Trump's hardcore cult of personality, right? Because, and I was thinking of this in relation to QAnon, where QAnon was very hardcore for a while, and then it kind of splintered into all these other movements, and it doesn't really exist. Like there are people who came up in QAnon who got their relevance from following Q, from spreading QAnon bullshit. Let's see if there's anything. From spreading QAnon bullshit. But Q is not relevant in the same way it was 4 years ago. And I think January 6th was a big, like, clarion call for so many people, including hardcore Trump fans. And since then, much like with the waning of Q, a lot of people kind of have dwindled on it. Like, a lot of the more casual Republicans have very dwindled on Trump. A lot of casual libertarians, as we've seen with the actual Libertarian Party nominee. But I am worried about the Trump sycophants that remain. And Trump's, I talked about this at CPAC, but Trump is purposely aware, and all the Republicans are, of how charged the violent rhetoric they use are. Ooh, Judge Janine Malding on Fox. Let me see. Yeah, let's get some Fox News. just some copium injected into our veins. And look, normally I wouldn't be so cheeky. Like, I think it's very cringe lib thing to do we not have a live? Is there a Fox? Do I have to probably pay for Fox Nation or something? Streamed 1 minute ago. Okay, what's this? Your World Kavuto. Okay, I might pop into CNN stream. But I am worried about reprisal by Trump loyalists right now, because they've been told for months, like if there was something after January 6th that is going to trigger another violent event from radical conservatives, I strongly feel I want to say, I don't fucking want that. I think that is going to be bad if anything does happen. But I strongly feel that something like this would be it. News Live has a Fox stream. All right. People run entire criminal enterprises from prison. Why not Project 2025? True. They will storm the courts. I don't know what that would do. Like honestly, I don't know if they will. I don't know. Like I can't. I don't want to speculate too much. No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Will this affect Project 2025? Yeah. I mean, if they don't, Project 2025 depends on whatever figurehead they get in there. To speak for the people behind it, right? And it used Trump as the presumptive nominee because they knew that Trump could sell those ideas, those extremely Christo-fascist nationalist ideas. Oh, I was already on the website. Jesus Christ. Anyway. Hey, Tara Billie Jean. There's still a large number of Republicans willing to vote for him to keep Biden out of office, but your average Trump rally and Trump marches are tiny compared to... Yeah, and that I feel like that has been borne out in the
antithesis of that. But as a country as a whole, we have a system in place to review this. For Donald...
Oh, come on. It has to load in these shitty AI ads. Cool. Come on. Oh, why is that? They might have to send him to a high security one in case people try to storm the prison. Yeah, like that is... I was reading an article yesterday where the Secret Service members, somebody had interviewed Secret Service members to be like, hey, what if Trump actually does get sent to prison? Like, do you guys have a plan for that? How does... Because he's a former president, and former presidents will get Secret Service protection. I do not have a block. See, this is the thing I talk about when I'm bad at computers. I should have ad block. I really should. Like, but how does Secret Service protection work in prison? You know, like, does he have just 2 guards outside of his cell 24/7? Like, is that what it looks like? I feel that it would be closer to something like Jeffrey Epstein, where honestly he's probably uBlock Origin takes. Okay, I trust you. I will. Thank you very much. I will read out that name in just a second. Reiko Zudikan, thank you for subscribing for 2 months.
Full immunity from any kind of criminal activity. There's nothing. There's no protection for him. We know the
repelled by what they see out of New York. I must tell you, the reason I was sad in there was not for the former president. It was for the New York legal system. I've written, as many of us have, that this is a deeply flawed case. It's wrong. And this is a great legal system. I'm not a New York bar member. I'm out of D.C. But I have huge amount of respect for this system. It has helped define the law in this country. Legal history was made here on this block. I'm looking at 2 courthouses where legendary cases were heard and handed down. It's part of our DNA as lawyers. So for many of us, it is a sad moment because we were hoping this jury might redeem a bit of that integrity. It did not. I'm not blaming the jurors. They got instructions that made conviction very likely here. I was one, as opposed to my good friend Andy here, who believed he'd get a verdict today and that it would be.
Okay, I switched back to the menu. God damn it. All right, so I did install uBlock Origin. Yeah, I use Firefox. And I think that's why it actually did that. So I will reload. uBlock, you gonna come through for me? Have a good day at work, Ryzen. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, there we go. Damn, okay, that does work.
That there
God damn,
were,
okay.
I guess it was
Ad
2 days ago
blocker
during the
coming
summations.
through.
I was in for the defense in the morning. You were there for the prosecution in the afternoon. That you said when it looked like the prosecutor was mocking Trump or landing points that were bad for the defense or bad for Trump, that the media in the room was reacting to that.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
that it wasn't exactly neutral.
No, he knew his audience. The media in the room was laughing, and
Okay. Yeah. I'm not surprised that members of the media and members of reporters who for almost a decade now, Trump has been calling literally the enemy of the people, who have been getting targeted by violent terrorists for over 8 years. I understand people at Fox News don't have like journalistic scruples, but what Donald Trump has done to the overall trust of American media cannot be understated. It is a massive Overton window shift of the perception around media. And that isn't just from him, but it's tied into like responses to COVID, which of course he and conservatives in America helped spearhead. This massive distrust of anything the media says. So if the media want to laugh, lemons and leaves, people don't even vaccinate their dogs anymore. Yeah, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. So if people want to laugh, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Those who believe this is long-delayed justice, this is exactly what they hope for. But that final verdict, of course, will come in November.
So, you are a very experienced defense attorney, to the point where if I get in trouble, you're my call. I want you to know from
Dominique Does Life. Dominique Does Life, thank you very much for the $5 for the
you know
PC
what it's
Games
like to
Fund.
be disappointed, to be on the losing end of a verdict. But
Gaming
President
PC
Trump
Fund.
came out today, and this really fed into what his supporters love about him. We are going to keep fighting. We know that's a long process. You talked about questions about the New York legal system and how you feel this may reflect this trial court decision. On that, what is your confidence in the appellate division or the appellate process here in New York?
This case is a little different because, quite frankly, I think the level of reversible error here really is quite considerable. It runs the waterfront of procedural to constitutional problems, including federal constitutional violations. I don't even see how you can meet the unanimity
Audrey, I can do that.
requirement in the way that this thing was instructed. Yeah, they were unanimous that some crime was being committed on that secondary crime, but it's apparently between the jurors and God as to what that crime was, unless there's going to be some release of a jury form. We haven't seen that jury form, so we don't know.
And no indication when you were inside that we would, or that there was a special verdict form?
No, and so we were all hoping that there might be a form that might bring clarity on that issue. But no, I think that in the end, you're going to have a reversal. I'm fairly confident of that. Now, in the New York appellate...
Somebody, please, oh man, please have that man. Like, I want somebody specifically on the day that the appeal gets denied to send him the clip of him saying, yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll get overturned. Because unsurprisingly, Fox News is running damage control, right? Like, they are running damage control for Daddy Trump. They are working as his proxy campaign manager right now. And just being like, well, obviously, yeah, like we don't actually have anything to worry about, but at the same time, this is a gross miscarriage of justice. But at the same time, it's going to be overturned. But at the same time, they're definitely out to get Trump. But at the same time, of course, this is what people love about him. He's always going to come back swinging, so be sure to vote for him in November. But at the same time, this is a completely unprecedented, historic miscarriage. And so it's this real back and forth dance they're doing that is actually very entertaining.
A little bit farther north here in Manhattan. Guys.
And thank you, Shannon. At Fox News Alert, of course, you know the news. President Trump found guilty on all counts. Judge Jeanine's been here. She's been able to give some comments, but you've got some other people here with some thoughts.
Oh,
and
please, Judge Jeanine.
Oh,
the 5, yes.
I'm not that surprised. This thing always felt preordained. It feels more arranged than...
Oh, God, yes. Give me Gutfeld! Exclamation point. Give me Gutfeld's gut reaction. Gutfeld reaction to Trump's... Oh, my God. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
They will try to just destroy you. And I do believe that, Americans love the story of a lone man.
Maxie the Cat, we're going to see. I am going to watch it. I am going to watch it. I plan to watch at least the Silent Hill stream live, so we're going to see.
The villain, when you're in this story, and these are all stories, there is a villain and there is a hero, and we now know who the villain is and who's behind this. We just
Jordan
saw
Peterson.
With our very own eyes, but we don't know what was going on behind the scenes. And I believe that there was a conscious collusion of allies that came together. It's pretty obvious, with a private strategy to eliminate a common shared adversary.
Oh my God.
This happened before with in the election. I think it was Time Magazine that wrote about the cabal. Thank you. I said cabal earlier. Government, the legal system, the media. So what we saw was
his job is to speak professionally, like on camera.
What was done secretly, and then we get this trial, which is paraded publicly. But we didn't see
thank
how
you for
this
following.
happened.
Sib Wolf, thank you for following.
Oh,
we have a KF Logan 1875. Thank you so much for rating. We are checking out,
and I think you're going to see this.
We are checking out the COPE happening after the Trump convicted on all charges. is in the New York trial. We are just watching Fox News react to that before hopping over to the PlayStation stream. Thank you guys so much for rating.
Will be, I think, energized by this.
See President Trump right now on your screen left, leaving the courtroom there. We're keeping an eye on that motorcade. He's going to be heading back up to his place at Trump Tower. One thing, to your point about spinach and fuel, the Trump donation site crashed a few minutes ago, and it's still down, which means that, I think to your point, that the base would be energized.
Jesus
WinRed
Christ.
apparently also having
Jesus
similar
Christ.
problems.
That is
The
so.
sentencing would be July 11th,
That is so
Jesse.
abysmal.
That's 2 weeks after.
All right, Audrey Rose Beaver, since he was charged under 34 counts in one trial, if one of them gets thrown out for any reason, they can challenge all of them and postpone the entire thing. Another really dumb thing is you get charged on something and then proven not guilty, you can't even be charged on it again without it escalating to a different court.
I thought I'd be angry, but I feel this cool resignation, this resoluteness that we're wounded.
Jesse Waters, you've
as
never
a
been
country,
cool at all.
And we're not going to go down. That we're going to get back up. We're going to regain our
Paradoxical
strength,
Peace. I am
and then we're
hyped
going
for
to
Knowledge Fight
vanquish
covering this.
the evil forces that are destroying
Oh God! All right,
this
I gotta
republic.
see the.
And if you look at the American people, how are they looking at this? People are desperate for help from these politicians.
Trump
for
Save America
safety,
Joint
for
Fundraising
security.
Committee.
And these nitwits, consumed with hatred, are trying to destroy a man because he threatens their power.
Like,
These are
I'm not
wicked
surprised.
people
I'm not surprised how much
obsessed
they'll
with a
shill for
person.
Trump, but just
And we will seek
it's
justice.
still.
We guarantee
Like
that.
at CPAC, I saw this in person with my own eyes. Just people who wholeheartedly believe that Trump is just this good, kind-hearted
TV
soul,
star,
and I'm like,
Hollywood Walk of Fame.
like it's still. I still can't believe it.
marriages,
Thanadophobia. Thank you for super
children.
chatting 99 cents. It's bonkers to me. Oh, Jesse Waters stopped. All right.
Incarcerate this person, and the only way this act ends.
Thank you guys
is he
so
is
much for
reelected.
all of the follows.
And it
Heteroside
looks like he will
786.
be reelected.
It's
June
looking
is gonna
like
be a pivotal month, though, Dana, because Biden will speak after this to the nation. He says, and then in just less than a week, Hunter Biden will go on trial. And then in just less than a week, Hunter Biden will go on trial for felony gun charges. And then you will have polling that's going to try to push this into the bloodstream and show that Biden's now closing
Rule
the gap.
34 is going to
We'll
blow
see
up
if that
today. I'm going to
sticks.
tell you.
And then you
Oh,
have a debate
don't
at the
say
end of the month.
Rule 34 is going
So
to
if
blow
Joe
up.
Biden is still down.
That just
at the
means the
end of
inflation
June,
tag is
after
getting
all of
more
this,
entries.
It's over for Joe Biden. And I thought the president's tone was perfect. He was angry. He said it was rigged, and we all know it was rigged. We all know he can't get a fair trial here. But the key point was that the real verdict
Like, there
is
was
on November
never
5th, when not 12 men and women get to decide. 330 million men and women get to decide.
Like there,
and
that's
is the key.
this
So
is
get out
actually a
there
really
and
good
vote.
reminder that there was never ever
An update
going to
on the
be.
Trump donation site is back up, and now it's rebranded with "I did nothing wrong."
Of course it
I
is.
also just want to read to you because
God, that's
you
it's
mentioned
fucking
the
embarrassing
Biden
how
campaign,
Fox
and we
News is
did
just
hear
straight up
earlier in the
like
week that
it's just
President
straight up
Biden is going
propaganda.
to make some
Like
sort
say
of
what you want
statement,
about the
regardless of the outcome, he was going to make a
fucking
statement from the White
like
House.
media
We've seen
bias
that.
of places
I
like
don't know if
NBC
that
or
might be in
MSNBC
Delaware,
or
but
CNN or whatever.
We know that, but
like
his campaign put this statement out, and then Harold will get your take. The Biden campaign saying that
they are not
in New York today,
literally
we saw that
just
no one is above the
walking
law. Donald Trump
advertisements for
has
Biden.
always mistakenly believed he would never face consequences
He
for
doesn't
breaking the
deserve
law
a
for
free
his
trial,
own personal
true,
gain.
but
today's verdict does
that
not
also
change the
doesn't
fact
mean
that
it's
the
rigged.
American people
Like
face
it
a
is
simple
very
reality. There's
obviously
still only one way to keep
like
Donald
not
Trump
rigged,
out
but
of
they
office
that is
after
the
the
narrative.
ballots
That is
are.
what has been settled on.
Convicted
That is what
felon
Trump
or
is
not,
putting
Trump will
out.
be the
So they have
Republican
to
nominee
continue
for president.
perpetuating it.
The threat Trump poses to our democracy has never been greater. He is running an increasingly unhinged
TJ
campaign of
Wall.
revenge
I thought this
and
was America.
retribution,
Hunter flirt with
pledging to be
Mills
a
and shoot guns.
dictator on day
Yeah,
one
I
and
honestly
for our
do not
Constitution to be
like.
terminated
It's
so
not
he
just
can
a
maintain and
oh
keep
because
power.
it's
A second term means
like
chaos,
Biden
ripping
thing.
away
I do
American
not
freedoms and fomenting
give a
political violence,
fuck
and
about
the
Hunter
American
Biden,
people
dude.
will reject
Like
it.
I realize
Listen,
that is
but
the
that is
only
from
thing
the Biden
conservatives and
campaign.
Republicans can
Now,
continue
over to you,
trying to
Harold.
get Trump on. But
So
I
it's a
just
tough day for the country.
I cannot be fucked to care
and
about.
obviously a tough
And
day
like I
personally for
realize
President
Hunter
Trump.
Biden is a total screw up.
I think
whatever.
Jonathan
I do not
Turley's
care that
remarks about
much.
his confidence in our system our rule of law and our judicial system is something I think we all have to cling to. I think the word for me right now is just restraint. Those who don't support President Trump's politics, who may have some glee today or this afternoon, and those who support him who are disappointed. The one thing I hope people don't walk away or that they don't take away from this is that our system doesn't work. I criticize Jonathan Turley sometimes, but I give him a lot of credit for how he framed this here.
I love the fucking cope of like
his
still needing
remarks
to
a few
ride
minutes
that
ago.
line.
We have an appellate system.
1 second, y'all.
We have a Supreme Court or appellate system in this state that will review this, and if President Trump does not gain the kind of favor that he wants there, he can appeal even higher. But our system will work this out. And for anyone to suggest that a country that has survived a Revolutionary War, a Civil War, World War I, World War II, that we won't be able to make it through this, I'd say shame on you. We are a huge country with huge ideals and huge dreams and aspirations.
Very huge.
Whether you support President Trump or not, he will have an opportunity to remedy this if the law is on his side. And I would hope that those who don't like President Trump or who don't like his politics don't take glee in this. Don't take joy in this. This is a day in which justice was served at the first court, and we'll see what happens here over the next several months, as I'm sure.
Don't take joy in this. Don't gloat.
From
the people who,
and Shannon Bream and others about the
from the fucking people who spend.
But as we
did you use your mouth to open that? No, I just I cut.
I hope we don't go attacking these jurors. It was a human exercise, jury deliberations,
it was a
and I'm one that hopes that these jurors do
use
talk
my mouth to open it.
And give us a sense of what happened in that jury room. And they have the right to do that, every right to do that.
I noticed when Jonathan Turley was talking about the judge's instructions to the jury, you made a note. And I also remember before, I think you had said to Trey Gowdy that in your experience, juries usually get it right. What about the jurors here versus the judge, or what happened there?
Well, first of all, I think it's important for people to understand that there is a huge connection between the jurors and the judge. The judge is the one who decides, when they go, to lunch, when they get a break, what they get for lunch, whether, they're going to have their needs that we don't even hear about met in that deliberation room. And when I was on the bench, in almost every case, I would say, the jurors would say to me, "Judge, did we get it right?" And they would want to know my opinion, and I would always say to them, "You got it right. You're the jury." And so there's this connection between the judge and the jurors. So I'm not surprised at the verdict. Legally, I could take this on appeal myself. But what I'm most disturbed about is the fact that they come out, that the Democrats come out with the Biden campaign that you just read. It's an increasingly unhinged campaign of revenge. I mean, Donald Trump did not sound, when he came out of that courtroom, like he was full of revenge. And they talked
He
about
sounded
how
like a man who hadn't slept in 3 days because he's facing the very real possibility of going to prison for the first time in his fucking privileged life.
Donald Trump is the strongest man I have ever met.
Oh, geez,
there is no one who can withstand what this man has withstood. And I've known him for 40 years. He will fight the fight until the end. And this is a scenario that will energize him. It will energize his base. And hopefully, along with that energy, will come other people who will say to themselves, what did Donald Trump do wrong? What was it again that he did wrong? I'm not sure people know what he did wrong in this case. And, I don't want to hear about, well, the jury decided it was definitely right. Well, the appellate court will decide that. But what I can tell you is that this is the ultimate in terms of election interference. We saw it with Letitia James. She tried to bankrupt him, and maybe she did. I don't know. We saw it with Alvin Bragg, who's a Soros-funded prosecutor, and all of these prosecutors who want to take him down. Be careful what you wish for. And I don't want to see this happen because I believe in this system. To not believe in the system means that I wasted 3 decades of my life. I have to believe in this system.
I've got bad news for you, Judge Jeanine Pirro.
The sleeping giant across America.
But yes, thank you. Shiny gloves. I was trying these on. These are the gloves I ordered for my Angel Dust cosplay because the ones that came with my actual cosplay did not fit. So these
finally
with
is
this,
coming
actually,
up
my Angel
for
Dust
it for
cosplay is
a
finally
crime
complete. So
that he
hopefully,
allegedly committed.
people
I'll say
going
that as a
on the
professional, for trial on June 3rd, but where his own Department
people
of
on
Justice
the
prevented him
OnlyFans,
from even having to answer for his lack of
keep an eye out because I will be doing Angel Dust for Pride.
And now America's
yes,
saying, you know
Sachiko
what? Now
Yume,
we
Angel
see
Dust
them
from Has Been Hotel.
juxtaposed against each other.
That
and
is what
it's not
I got
fair.
my little.
And we are a country that was born of revolution. Revolution.
I just noticed one of my partners made my Double Trouble ride fat nuggets back there. I don't, Shabiri's Woe, I had an idea for the forearms. I don't think it's going to pan out, and I really just need to get the cosplay done.
Let me give you one more update, if you don't mind.
That
This
and
has just come in
Cloud,
from
I
the
need
AP.
to really do.
Even though the White House had put out this statement,
Anyway,
Greg, that,
I'm going to go put these away real quick because I just wanted to try these on. Because they also came with
the White House. Apparently now,
also a pair of
President
thigh
Biden
highs
will not address
that are that
Trump's
same red,
conviction
so I'm
tonight, per people familiar.
very excited.
The plans are
What?
fluid, but the first
Biden,
comments
come
likely
on,
to
man.
come in an informal setting in
All right, I'll be
days
right back.
ahead, probably in response to a reporter's question.
And you know, that won't be planned. That'll just be a spontaneous question.
They do point out that President Biden is with his family today in Delaware on the anniversary of Beau's death. So not tonight, but again, unlikely to.
Okay.
Does he talk to the press?
You know what? That's okay.
Yeah, very few
I
things
will
in Biden's
say,
life are fluid except for his meals. I go back to my original point.
So
You
funny.
look
That's
at
why you're the
Russian collusion.
That's why you're the
P-tape,
king of
Hunter's
late night
laptop, the constant
TV.
investigations of the Trump family.
Sachiko Yume, that was the plan. I
relentless
just
kind of
cannot.
Campaign
I don't
is
have time
now
to actually
routine.
make
How can you
the
not
arms.
conclude
Although
that
I
this
might.
entire thing is rigged, and it just
So there are
it just
costumes that have the
informs
two pairs of
that
arms.
idea that
But
Trump
yes.
has been saying is that they, if they don't
I
like
subbed
you,
Empty
they're
Chairs.
gonna destroy you.
Thank you for
He
gifting tier
mentioned
1 sub
revenge,
to Best
and it's
Murky.
interesting because why would they bring that up? It's because they feel somehow that it is warranted.
Cloud could very well
Trump
just
didn't
be a
mention
Cloud
it.
wig and a
They
dress.
did.
No,
Why
I
else
got.
would you bring it up? It's like a guilty spouse every time he sees
got the sword and everything
an
for
angry
Cloud.
look from his
Like I got.
husband or
I
wife.
need to style
goes,
the wig.
Oh my
more,
God, she
but
knows.
I have a full.
You know,
I
it's
have a
like
full cosplay.
they just go, well,
Like I've been.
you know, we did it. You know,
like
and then of course
working-
they always use that old chestnut.
out
No
and
one is
everything
above
to-
the law.
Yeah.
And I go back to the original thing that Kat Timpf said, and no one is below the law except for Trump. Basically, it's going to be anybody affiliated with Trump, any Republican, any conservative, all below
And
the law.
tonight on your show, you have Kevin O'Leary.
Well, Shabiri as
who
well.
was here yesterday
Kevin
talking
O'Leary.
about his recent trip
Shabiri as well. You could do one photo shoot with them. Yeah, I'll probably innovate on the design a little bit because I also have a new Rogue cosplay that I still need to do. But
the show is on.
It is on. I get it is on.
yeah, my plan for Cloud and Angel Dust is to actually do 2 sets each. One of regular cosplay, one in lingerie.
Who then came back and
Other Ryan, hey Domain, could you potentially give me advice on a cosplay? What cosplay do you want to do?
not many people have
Like find
such a
something
powerful imprint on the
find
city
something
as Donald
you
Trump.
enjoy and that you would be
Page 6,
happy representing.
fixture, big part of the
So
80s
cosplay
and
is a weird
90s
thing
social
because
scene here that define New York City culture.
if you want to do it in public, like if you want to take a cosplay to a con, I would recommend starting small, starting with something very easy and something that is not a bodysuit, and a wig, like something that is like borders on casual wear, but it's just identifiable. Because man, like you're not prepared for like 6 hours of standing at a con in a full bodysuit and wig. Let me just say that. If you've never done cosplay or dress up or anything like that, like that is why my Rogue cosplay is still one of my favorites. I hated doing it so much because that goddamn wig. Although I have a better wig anyway.
It's a shame.
Other Ryan, I'm working on a Cult of the Land cosplay, but I'm trying to figure out what the most comfortable way to attach the bell for that amount of time. It's the bell around the neck, right?
Having any words, it's probably appropriate. The DAs would obviously speak.
I would say
a case like this. But again,
if it is,
just wanna
I
remind
need
you,
to.
When the Supreme Court of the United States overturned abortion and overturned affirmative action in the last year and a half or so,
There's a little. It's the little dingy,
upset about it
jingy,
too.
jingy
We
from
have to show
the.
restraint. This is how our system works.
No, Majestic Direwolf. I wanna. Yeah, it's a collar. Yeah, I would say just a collar. Like, even if it would be because if it has a little hole in it, you could get just like a piece of velvet or any piece of like fabric really, and strap it through, and you can go to a craft store. You could easily get like pieces of Velcro to work on it.
You may be right. And we will find out as he goes through this appeal process.
Other Rain, I would start with just start with a ribbon or start with a piece of fabric. Audrey Rose Bieber, furries wearing 100-pound bodysuits at a convention in California midsummer in a venue that has no AC and it's 94 degrees outside. Yeah, I have I've talked about it a little bit before. I have
This has never happened before in America. I think everyone should take a deep breath before they get upset about anything or accuse anyone of anything else.
Amen. I would agree.
All right, so just wrapping up here on the 5, Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 counts. Alvin Bragg will give a press conference at 6:30 p.m. So you stick around for Fox. We're going to have amazing coverage tonight from Brett Baer show.
They
Jesse
seem
Show, Laura Ingraham, and of course
so incredibly deflated
point all the way through. And then I'll see you on America's Newsroom in the morning. Coverage on the Trump verdict continues.
Honestly, you love to see it, folks. We love to see it, don't we? All right. That is Donald Trump out of the way. I want to watch the PlayStation State of Play. Gaming Muse is already ahead of me. So let's go here. And Other Rain, yeah, of course. Other Rain, don't forget the utility and the value of Velcro, I'll say. Oh yeah, but I was saying I have a premiere in LA, and thank you Raiders and everybody who's been hanging out for political content. We will be covering. I'm not just doing gaming for the rest of the day. I will be covering the cast review. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how the Silent Hill stream goes. But do be sure to like, subscribe, do all the things, especially as this is the last couple days of getting in for my next pay period from YouTube, and I have a lot of costs to cover next month and a lot of content I'll be putting out, so please be sure to support if you can. No pressure if you can't. I appreciate the views and subscriptions anyway. Frame Andy, I'll peep the stream later. Gotta get to work. Have a good day at work.
Hi everyone, I'm Asad Kizilbash, Head of Product at PlayStation Studios and Head of PlayStation Productions.
Yeah, I did see that, Audrey Rose Beavers. I just rolled my eyes at that shit. I was just like,
this team brings together
Leo
some of the
Fee,
most talented developers in our
no.
industry.
I've never met. I'm not saying there's not one I wouldn't like, but I've never met a base building game that I love.
In-engine on PS5.
I want to get rid of chat.
Here's
How
an
do I?
extended vignette introducing some of the cool characters you'll find in the Concord Galaxy. Enjoy.
Thank you very much, Imperfect Rebus. Anticipatory Pride sub. I need to. That's another thing I want to do is I want to add a bunch of Pride emotes. That's my next big goal. Come on. The future of gaming is here. Intercept Blue Buddy. I don't remember this at all. Every game announcement in the last couple years has just completely blended together for me. Yeah, I straight up, none of this looks familiar. I don't even... This has a real, like, Beyond Good and Evil flavor to it, though.
Wasn't the plan. It was a spontaneous, creative decision made after years of careful research.
Being really old and almost dying a bunch doesn't count as research.
Almost dying is the best way to learn how not to die. Besides, it worked, didn't it?
How much longer for the upload?
A few more minutes. Hey, start time. Try it with hot sauce. You'll like it. Trust me.
No. Do not trust him.
Oh, where's this coming from?
It's coming from you back on the ship saying, trust me, we're professionals. We'll stick to the plan. We can do this. And then, that. That was not the plan.
Technically, it was a plan. It just wasn't the same plan that we started with.
This is...
We don't leave with this blue light.
Tamar, we will.
Like, this looks... Like, it looks gorgeous, graphically, but,
No one moves.
it has the same, like, fucking...
What? This? Funny.
Like, it has that same feeling that Forspoken and Immortals of Avium had, just like this weirdly MCU-style quippy dialogue that feels 5 years past its prime right now.
Meet at the rendezvous point. Wait, what? Where's the rendezvous?
And, like, granted, a lot of these games probably entered development years and years ago, but it just seems, I don't know.
Well played.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Beyond Good and Evil 2 got unofficially canceled. Like, I think it was indefinitely, whatever the term was, indefinitely postponed.
How bad is it? You're still mad at me?
Yeah, this is like super taken from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like,
Got him.
One off. This is you.
Got it.
I am developing a taste for destruction. Goodbye.
like that is the kind of Groot character.
This would be a very dishonorable way for us all to die.
Don't worry.
That is obvious. Like, that big blue guy is very much Drax. Like 10,000% Drax.
Hey, Mark.
Like, yeah, this is just Guardians. That's Gamora. That's
Getting us to the
Quill, and Rocket is the little fucking robot. Hello, dog. Hello. If y'all hear that tapping, it's my dog.
One off. Do not dare.
Well, we were supposed to stick together.
If you let go, I swear I will bring vengeance.
Look, there they are.
Hi. What the? I am glad you avoided a dishonorable death.
Almost dying is the best way to learn how not to die.
Or something.
Yeah, it just...
I knew this was gonna work.
This wasn't the plan.
Well, this wasn't the one we started with.
I don't want to be a total
right.
bummer
Satisfied
for people who spend, like, people spent years of their lives trying to make this and trying to make it something unique and interesting and bring it to life, and especially as a new IP, which is the most fucking hard thing to do now. But
Our next job is somewhere with less scaffolding.
it's just every game, every new IP that comes out feels so incredibly familiar, which is such a bummer to me. Like, and I think the writing has a lot to do with that. Like, I've been playing Immortals of Avium, which is a
first-person shooter.
I'm sorry, what?
Sci-fi universe of the Concord Galaxy. In Concord, from the moment you log on, you are part of the crew of the North Star, a group of guns for hire known in our galaxy as Free Gunners. Free Gunners are those lucky enough to be free to roam the stars.
It's a fucking Overwatch clone?
Across wild space, where they face other fiercely competitive Free Gunner crews. Here's the very first.
You have all that cool ass setup for a story, and it's a team shooter?
Free gunner means, well, you're free.
Problem number 10,000 in the fucking industry.
Free gunners have a shot at making something of themselves. A chance to be someone. All right.
Hey, it looks pretty. It looks like Destiny, actually. Like, as I'm watching, like, the movement and the map design, I'm getting huge Destiny from the maps.
Why not?
And in the wilds, it's anyone's game.
That's fucking
You
nuts,
won't
dude.
survive on your own.
Target blinded.
battle.
I can't believe.
Endless rage.
You know, they built this entire world and had a story and probably had a full game. Then 2 years ago, the owner of the company was like, "Nope, scrap everything we were doing to Overwatch clone." I don't know about that. I think it is very dumb and weird that Overwatch came out in 2016. We are just now seeing the fruits of like Overwatch clones, almost a decade later, with like that Marvel game and now this. I would say Valorant too. Like, what? Oh yeah, a lot of these abilities look hella Destiny too. I don't know, the map design looks cool, but fucking...
And together, we're going to make our mark on this galaxy.
Man.
The crew is gathering. Would you like to join us for it?
Oh, I forgot about Gundam Evo. That was another one.
We leaned on the strengths and background of our team to make a tight, well-balanced FPS that feels great to play. We focused a ton of our attention and our tech on
so
building a
here's
strong gameplay
like the
foundation with
problem
tight core movement, precise visceral
with
shooting,
the game. Here's a problem with the game industry as a whole. I feel like that's really wrapped up in this, is that it looks tight. Like the gameplay looks solid. The graphics look good. The art design looks good. But there is nothing about it that sets it enough apart in terms of innovation to really get my attention. Like, it looks like I've seen people in the chat talking about Fortnite, talking about, I've mentioned Destiny and Overwatch. We've talked about Paragon. Like, it looks like so many other games just filtered into one. And I'm sure it will probably be at least a good game. Like, it looks solid. It looks good. But there is nothing here that makes me look at this and go, I'm going to play that instead of Overwatch, which I already have hours in. I'm going to play that instead of Destiny, which I already have hours in. And I feel like that is just the biggest problem. Okay, so they unload story throughout
ongoing
the
narrative
weeks.
arcs that grow the characters' stories and relationships and unpack the broader Concord galaxy.
Why are you kissing a tchotchke?
We're excited to share that we'll be hosting a pre-launch beta in July, followed by Concord's
I wish
global
them the
launch
best.
on August 23rd, 2024.
Oh, like, that is supremely underwhelming looking. Snappily, thank you very much for following. Live service. Like that, Leofy. Live services. Narrative progression seems cool. Yeah, like, and I feel like we have seen also so many people now try and fail to get at this goddamn, like, it's an online game, but we're gonna sprinkle in little bits of narrative throughout, so it's kind of a single player thing, but it's not really. Like, we just saw that with Suicide Squad, and that has been...
Do you, Kratos?
Shocker.
War is coming. The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok.
No, it's God of War coming to PC, because Sony's bringing all their shit to PC.
Death can have me when it earns me.
Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
We have guests!
Super ultra wide. Like, what is the point of that, really? Super ultra wide. Fatally Bored, that sounds like crime boss Rockay City. Oh my god, Jackie Sins, holy shit, thank you so much. Holy shit, thank you so much. For the $130, oh my god. I got paid today, here you go. I'm, like, getting a little misty at that. Holy fuck, dude. Thank you so much. That means so much to me right now. I can't even properly convey it. Oh my god. Thank you a lot.
Soldiers and officials alike oppress the people for personal gain.
Oh, are we getting AC Shadows?
For food.
No, Omega Force.
Perhaps this is heaven's way of lamenting the state of the land.
Dynasty Warriors reboot?
Men are powerless at the feet of the divine. But even so, someone must act.
This is... Yo. This is Dynasty Warriors. Holy shit, this looks fucking nuts. This is the best Dynasty Warriors has ever looked. It's weird. Like the other month, I was like, man, they haven't made a Dynasty Warriors in a minute. But god damn. Oh, he's a twink. Dynasty Warriors Origins. Fuck, man. That's the first time I've seen a Dynasty Warriors, and I'm like, that doesn't just look like the last one.
Momo.
Datbree, thank you very much.
I think I was dreaming. It wasn't a dream. We were really transported to Mirrorland.
The path of a stylist is never easy. So, are you ready for it?
Ready.
There's just a lot going on here. I can't tell if this is like a Pokemon game, a fashion design game, a platformer, Pokemon Snap. Infinity Nikki.
Is it you who pursues infinity? Or is infinity awaiting you?
That's oddly dark. I do kind of like...
Stars.
That's a great fucking opening line, man. Oh, is this... this looks like Final Fantasy 16.
The miracles you so claim.
Tips works.
Until the towering shadows vanished into the mist.
I pray for their grace, but all that came were inferior shades.
Oh yeah, no, this is hella Souls-like. You can just tell by the style of it. Here, you know what I would love? What I think would revitalize the Souls-like genre? If there were more Souls-like games that looked like that Infinity Nikki thing. Like just something complete that you would never fucking expect. Instead of games that are just like very much cribbing from FromSoft's already kind of tired visual design.
Wayward emissaries, grant us the forgotten miracles. Rain fire from above.
Like the Madoka Magica of Souls-like. Kittens, Hello Kitty Souls-like. See, y'all get the vision. Y'all see where I'm going with this. Rhythm-based Souls-like. I'm kind of surprised there hasn't been a rhythm-based Souls-like.
We did not betray this world.
And Ballad of Antara. And that looks neat. Like, there's a lot of cool shit there. Like visually. 2025, damn. Skydance's Behemoth. Why is that? I feel like I haven't heard about that for years.
I thought I could be a hero and break the curse.
But I was a fool.
Ooh, people loved that. I always wanted to play that, but I never had the VR for it. Oh, this is VR. Okay.
Gods that walk among us thirst for death.
I constantly forget that PSVR 2 even came out. Like, people just do not even really acknowledge it in a really weird way. This would be, I guess, this is around the time that E3 would have been, huh? Like, unless, is there a summer game showcase or something? Or is this kind of gonna be PlayStation's E3 presentation? That just...
The power of our god is immeasurable.
That just occurred to me.
Thought I could be a hero.
I don't know, big things in VR is really cool. And also, like, sword fights in VR and murdering, like, this Condemned VR shit, I'm way into that. I'm way into that.
Monsters do.
You know what it looks like? It looks like first-person Shadow of the Colossus. Doggo. You okay? My dog is just sitting in the window panting. Middle Heavens Mekor sector. Oh, Alien. Okay. Oh, this is that Alien... Yeah, this is a VR game. That looks... I mean, I didn't get much of a sense of the gameplay there, but... God, the chat underneath on YouTube is going fucking crazy for Wolverine. I wonder if they'll do Wolverine on this.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Benson. I'm back on State of Play to introduce more exciting titles coming to PlayStation, starting with a highly anticipated PvP shooter, playable soon on PS5.
Oh, kick-ass. I've been wanting to play this, but it's been PC only. Because I've heard legit good things about it.
All realities converge here. Destiny awaits.
It has a really good, unique style too, I think. Ooh, they gave him the Marvel vs. Capcom move. I fucking love that. Hela also, inclusion, pretty good. God, that just makes me want the whole game in first person though. Why would you give me a first person power? I do like that they made the Punisher just straight up look like a fucking Gears of War character.
Healing power. I'm back, baby. 3, 2, 1, blast off! Gonna get sticky.
You know what? This looks like a multiplayer Ultimate Alliance. Like in Ultimate Alliance 2 when they had all the crossover attack type stuff. Yeah, lemons and leaves. I'm like, why?
Okay, let's see how mankind has conquered space.
Ooh, cool. That's fucking crazy that they made like Galacta. Is that the character's official name? Galacta? That's bonkers. Yo. What are we talking? We talking Neo 3? This looks like Neo. No, this actually looks a little bit more Chinese now that I'm looking at it. Hey guys, it's another Souls-like. Aren't you thrilled? Yeah, this is hella like Wuxia. Look at this crouching tiger, hidden dragon shit. Where winds meet. No, it's not Black Myth Wukong. It's another Asian themed. Which, like, and I'm not saying that, like, obviously not all Asian cultures are the same, but like,
hello,
there are
fans.
So many Asian themed Souls likes now.
All my pals back to the annual Blackwood Winter Getaway.
Oh yeah, they're remaking Until Dawn. I fucking forgot.
You can't hide from me, Michael.
Oh, you're going down. Oh.
It doesn't.
It means so much to me that we're all still here together.
Fight the break of dawn. I feel like someone's watching us.
You know what? Actually, now that I'm watching some stuff, I'm like, man, I remember when Until Dawn like first came out, and so many of the animations and stuff were really like weirdly hinky. But they better fix that mask, because the thing they showed off before.
I was down there.
You were?
It was horrible.
No, it's close to Until Dawn was. Until Dawn's almost a decade old.
We should stay put right here until dawn.
Like, I don't really get it, but also I really loved Until Dawn, so I'm like, I'm okay with it. I haven't played it in a while, and it looks fucking good. Ooh, they should. PC fall 2024. Yeah, that's about. God, people will not shut the fuck up about Bloodborne in the chat. At this point, if I were higher up at Sony, I would just be like, no, you're never getting it.
Ogum was once a peaceful land, but each day descends further into madness. Famine, plague, besiege us.
I love how people in the chat cannot even, like, pay attention to the thing enough. Is Robert Englund... Yeah, Robert Englund's still alive. Robert Englund did a cameo as Freddy in the Connors. No, not the Connors. Goldbergs, like, a couple years ago. Is this Diablo, or this just looks like Diablo to me? No, it doesn't have the same UI as Diablo 6 though, or Diablo 4.
I must be the one to face this nightmare.
No noose this time. I'll remove your head myself.
It does seem like somebody says Shibiri's. It's not more Dark Souls, but like there is a lot of like dark fantasy going on, and I feel it's a little Path of Exiles 2. That's what it is. Like, I am, as a certified dark fantasy enjoyer, getting a little bit tired of it. Like, just a skosh. Just a skosh. Just a little bit. Yeah, it's not like Shibiri as well. It's not like Bloodborne isn't playable on PS5. Like, it is playable on PS5. It's playable on PS4. PS4s are cheaper now. It's free with PS Plus. Like, there's so many ways that you can play it. It's far from, like... You know, it's not like a Silent Hill game where it's like, oh, to play it, you have to either properly emulate it or you have to fucking, like, have a PS2. Okay, I think Silent Hill 2 is next.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I was just...
It's okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost. I'm looking for Silent Hill.
I think you should stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it?
Is it dangerous?
Maybe.
I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
That the fog and effects, they got a really fucking good, like, that is a really great approximation of the PS2 cutscene.
I'm going either way.
No, you shouldn't be here.
Still don't like the combat. Like, God, finishing moves is not what James should be able to do.
I'll be good, I promise. Tell him I'll be good, please.
They're just showing off the whole...
No, please.
The lying figure and everything? Okay. Alright, well, we will be watching the Silent Hill transmission.
Capcom announced this next game last December, offering just a glimpse of what's in store for their celebrated franchise. Today, I am so excited to
Silver
share
Cell, thank
the
you for
first
following.
full gameplay trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds.
Like, Devil May Cry? Resident Evil? Monster Hunter.
As soon as we find a good spot, we can get things set up and ready to go. And then we can get started.
They better have the... Yo, they better have the dog ending. Like, if they don't have the dog ending,
hope we find
we
them
riot.
soon.
I know people love Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter World, just like, I feel like that was my chance to get into the series, and it just did not, it did nothing for me. This looks gorgeous.
Incredible. I've never heard of a Karatnoth herd this big before. One of them's got big spikes on its back.
Like, I love the style of it. I just wish I liked playing it more. Maybe I should try the Rise games, because I think those are on, like, well, I don't have Game Pass anymore, but, was it Monster Hunter Rise? People like those games?
Now to lead it away from the pack, we'll make for the desert.
Right. The sandstorm.
Darkfish, thank you very much for following.
Now commencing the hunt by order of the guild.
Oh, yeah, like, they better... Like, I'm already... Just because I fucking hate Bloober Team and I think they're kind of a shitty developer, I'm already so... Like, thinking about Silent Hill 2 Remake puts a pit in my fucking stomach, y'all. Like, I can't even convey it properly. Silent Hill 2 Remake and Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. Like, two of my favorite games of all time. And from a company that I don't have any confidence in. Ugh. Aw, Darkfish, thank you very much. I'm glad somebody watches the stream highlights.
I've selected you as a lead hunter for this expedition.
Thank you, sir.
Even though I know this is very much not the time of day I usually stream at, but the Trump trial, I was like, yeah, I should probably go online and talk about this. That looks like a Monster Hunter game. I do like Palicos. I do fuck with Palico. Palicos are super cute. Yeah, Angry Goose, we that was how we started the stream. Is it my boy? Is it the lad? The absolute boy? And he has a little fox friend? Let's go. For those who don't know, Astrobot for PS5 is one of the best games on the fucking system. Let's go. He better get a full game. Renderoot, it's going good. There's a new Astrobot game being made. Trump got put in, oh, tell me it's not just flying. Aha, there we go. That's what I'm about. Yeah, no, the last Astrobot game, the one that launched with the PS5 and came standard with every console, is one of the best 3D platformers I've played, like maybe ever. It is so just goddamn tight and fun. And so like they've had a couple years to get it going. I'm here for it. I'm into all this. I love me some 3D platformers. Oh, and they still have the PlayStation franchises. Okay. Yo, they got Parappa. Oh, they brought back the Monkey Boss. That was in the VR game. I wonder if they have a VR mode. The VR game was also on PSVR was fucking nuts because you were in these environments, and it still played like a regular like third-person platformer, but with these massive environments just moving around you and growing. Like, it was fucking crazy. Jenny Bunny, this is where I watched my parents die, Parappa. He's just like, you gotta believe! Step on the gas. Step on the brakes. Kick, punch. And then it's just all, I love, anytime somebody plays like Parappa for the first time and they don't get like quite how it works, and they're just like, kick, kick, punch, punch, kick, punch, kick. Very good. Oh, what a great game.
Be sure to visit
We need a new
PlayStation
Parappa.
blog for
What
more
gives
on the games
PlayStation?
You just saw, as well as PlayStation.com for the latest on Days
that
of
it?
Play.
That can't be
This
it.
global celebration runs through June 12th, with deals on PlayStation Store, great new content coming to PlayStation Plus, and much more.
That's not it. Oh, okay. I gotta see the chat because they're gonna be pissed. Let me go. LMAO, that was nothing. I mean, that was a lot of games, dude. That was a lot. All right, let's go to.
That was Sony's 2024 Summer State of Play presentation.
See, this is when people talk about like gamers who don't actually play games. It's the people who are taking up these comment sections who are like, "Oh, that was nothing." They just showed off a ton of games across a ton of different genres. Some of them remakes, some of them new ones, some of them that are gonna be bangers across. Like, you've got Monster Hunter, you've got first-person shooters, you've got multiplayer games, you've got fucking other shit. Like, just because there's not something for you, doesn't mean that there's not going to be anything. Oh, this is IGN. But also, like, that just means that you can, like, try something new, dog. All right, I'm going to go check my mail real quick because I think there was yeah, that was nothing. Guy who only plays Call of Duty and Fortnite. Exactly. I'm going to go check my mail real quick. And then I'll be right back. Because I'm going to... We're going to watch the Silent Hill live stream. Nuts out here, y'all. What's going on? Why are you not making noise anymore? Get the chat out of here. I fucking hate the chat. Okay, there we go. Gots to have the boy. Gots to have the boy present for the stream. Right. So he's just gonna sit right here next to me. Actually, put him right there so he can watch. The fuck does Konami even have? It's like, it's really just Castlevania and Silent Hill, isn't it? To do for my cosplay photos, just to get in like best, you know, muscle definition shape possible. Can't really see it with the light there, but my shoulders are looking crazy these days. And so I've been eating basically nothing but vegetables and pure protein, which like you can do a lot. You can do a lot with that. But I am like, y'all, I am craving sugary sweets to a devious amount. I got in my partner's car the other day and I smelled a cookie that they had eaten like 4 hours previously. I was like, do you have cookies in here? She's like, no, I ate a cookie like hours ago. And I'm like, don't lie to me. Do you have cookies? Let me know if you have cookies. So the pressure is real, y'all. All right, I want to fill the time with a little something. We got 11 minutes. Let's learn how to speak Wokanese in 10 minutes. Ooh, yeah, I need to do blueberries. I need to get blueberries and honey, but I don't want Destiny the Dam. Thank you very much for resubscribing for 8 whole heckin' months. Looking fit. Also, hello. Thank you. I do need to, once I'm done cutting, I will get back into like eating yogurt and stuff. But woke shadows. But yogurt is like it's all fat, so it does not help like with me cutting bloat and stuff like that. It's good fat. It's good. Like yogurt is good for you in moderation, like everything.
The other video that I made. Today we're going to learn a little bit more about Wokology and how to speak Wokanese. Assassin's Creed Shadow, we already talked in the other video about the main protagonist that they chose a black figure and transformed him from...
So, there's... Renaru, that's what I'm struggling to... Well, we'll find out, obviously. We're 40 seconds in. If this is serious, it's one of the saddest videos I've ever seen already. If this is fake, very good. Well done. If this is satire, A+. Bully for you.
Basically, a not so significant role in Japanese history to the main protagonist of the story Assassin's Creed Shadows, Creed Shadows. Sorry, I always say Greek with GR, but it's CR, Greed. The wokeness of this was already off the chart. We talked about why that was, about for the DEI and ESG, inclusivity and equity and diversity and money, and also for pampering to the Chinese. But the story goes now even crazier than before. Now it appears that Ubisoft...
No, I don't think this is fake. I think this is real. I think this is real. Like, using Park Place is a big tell for me. But just the way he's going about talking it, like he's not inserting any double meanings. Like he's not saying like, oh, you know, obviously because we hate all like people of different color. Like he's not trying to subvert any expectations. He's just depending on the game. Like every time you lose a round or lose a match, if you're playing multiplayer, bust out 25 crunches. Like you do that, you combine that kind of workout mentality with like a Souls-like, dog. Unstoppable. You'll be unstoppable.
Samurai story about in in ancient Japan, the first thing you, of course, you know, in the 1600s, the plate in the 1600s, that the first thing you, of course, think about when you're trying to put yourself in a story.
He
like
does. He does have a very
Slavoj
Zizek.
So you need to put yourself into that story. Then the first, of course, the first thing that you're thinking about in that time frame with these characters is, of course, you know,
this is real.
Samurais. And of course, what just goes straight through your mind is just no escaping that. Is of course you have LGBTQ and queer and all these kinds of you know, transgender kind of things going through your mind. That's of course the first thing that we do when we think about food or Japan and the 1600th century samurai culture of Japan. That's the first thing you think about. The wokeness, of course, of this is off the chart, you know, but. The story goes here actually really nasty, you know. Well, they say here, Assassin's Creed developer Ubisoft appears to confirm that the game's two main protagonists, Yasuki and Naoe, are LGBTQ H++ characters, which
I don't know what H is.
Complete nonsense is that, you know. And so that's. But who the hell is thinking about these guys? Why do we need to think about these things all the time? Why is that? It doesn't make any bloody sense. It really doesn't, you know. But then if we start reading over here, you know, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ubisoft hires LGBTQ H++ activists as consultants who want to challenge moral standards around generational sex, which you, of course...
I don't know what the H means. I'm sure it has some kind of... I'm sure it's supposed to be like... I can't even tell. Like heretic? Like, it's not a... Yeah, it must be some kind of like 4chan dumbass bullshit. We still got 5 minutes to go. By the way, this is completely misframing, and I'm not surprised that he wouldn't actually look into it himself, but... the way that they want to say this is that the consultant is in favor of transgenerational sex, which is the way that they're trying to frame pedophilia. The reality is that she uses cultural taboos. She explores ideas of gender ambiguity and gender diversity through things that, because they were pedophilia and have become like things that you just don't talk about, the roles of those people, gender diverse people, people who we would call non-binary or transgender in today's parlance, have just kind of been buried. And it's actually kind of fascinating research because it goes into this whole weird subculture, forgotten subculture of like Buddhist priests who, much like Catholic priests, almost like if you put people in positions of power, they're just going to take advantage of it, would essentially like have these young men be their like slaves, for lack of a better term. But the fascinating part of the research is that they weren't always young men. Like sometimes they would be older men who would just like dress more androgynously or ambiguously. Like, so there's, again, I know that they're completely incurious, but it's actually really interesting historical research that they, you know, of course, will not look into. Is this video a parody? Mr. Oakby, I do not believe so. I do not believe so.
Really neat in the story about ancient...
I'm going to go get some water real quick, and I'm going to leave you with this guy.
Japan. It doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. Okay, but here it gets a little bit more creepy, actually, you know. And here we go again also to Ubisoft and their cuties, where they had a series or something that was then with little girls dressed up and making all the time dances and stuff, which was highly criticized, and also took it very quickly off air. It was also something had to do with Ubisoft that was behind that. I don't remember which, but it was with one other streaming provider. They were publishing that series, and it was absolutely...
Ubisoft had nothing to do with cuties. Fucking what? Mateo Duraz, thank you for following. Yeah, I think he does think Ubisoft is Netflix. That is bizarre. All right, we got 2 minutes to go.
Very, very, very creepy stuff. I'm not going to go even into that because it's really, really sickening. But here we go again, you know. Here we go to something really creepy also, you know. This revelation comes amid Ubisoft contracting with Dartmouth Associated Professor. Hope I don't say her name.
Oh, that's going to be good.
Incorrect. Professor Saji Smith-Horry. Saji
Here's
Smith-Horry is an LGBTQH++ activist with her
Why
biography
H?
on
Like,
Dartmouth
I don't
websites. Read
get
it.
the fucking
I'm
H
interested
thing.
in investigating how gender, sexuality,
Mr. Oakby, thank you for the 1,000 biddies. Holy cats.
reality and power are
Thank you so much.
and negotiated in pre-17th century.
But here's
Japanese narratives
the
and
Angel Dust
illustrations.
chest
My
fluff
first
I
book,
just
here
got.
we go. This gets really,
And I'm
really
gonna have to cut
creepy,
it
you know.
and put the
Tales of
heart on it.
idolized
But
boys.
is Trump going to jail? We don't know yet.
Love in medieval Japanese narrative. University of Hawaii Press 2021 is on a medieval. I hope I don't say this wrong. Jigo Monogatari.
I have to cut it to get it to
Buddhist,
fit, but
acolyte tales, which often depict romantic relationships between Buddhist.
yeah, I
priests
tried
and
on my. I have fat nuggets
These
back
tales
there,
challenge
like
the
right
host
behind
of,
me is my
formative and moral
fat
standards.
nuggets.
Academics
And
especially internalize
homosexual.
including such ideas as sexual orientation, trend.
Okay, so they're just going through all of that stuff. Okay, well, that was a waste of a couple minutes. That for those who don't know, that's the kind of shit that I get on my feed. Like, that's recommended to me now. That video with less than 200 views was recommended to me. And thank you, Naka's FM. I have my Buster Sword back there for my Cloud cosplay. I've just needed to. I haven't added anything to my OnlyFans in so long. So I'm looking forward to doing 4 sets. I have an Angel Dust with and without lingerie, and then Cloud with and without lingerie. So I'm very excited to finally dig into those soon and take those pictures. All right, let's go. Silent Hill. Are we going to get remasters for other games? Maybe. Your YouTube Twitch career has destroyed any chance of YouTube giving you a video you'd actually enjoy. I get stuff from like if if my friends drop a video, like if Jesse or Kaylin do a video, I'll be able to see their stuff. But yeah, otherwise it's not great. Oh my gosh, my cat is so cute right now. She's completely spread out under the sun. Like right, because the couch is right in front of my window, and the sun's just beating down on her, and her arms are just like spread completely out in front of her. You went to the con and now you live with the conservative omen. God, I hope not. Is this going to be the whole live stream? Spark That Bled, I don't know, like, it was like kind of a hard video to watch, honestly. Like, I know we were just fucking around with it for a couple minutes, but it really is just, like, it's just bad. It's just bad. Like, everything about it was just kind of this rambling nothing. All right, let me see what chat says. It wouldn't be a Konami thing if it started on time. No, this isn't. Somebody said this is Silent Hill 1. This isn't Silent Hill 1. I believe this is Silent Hill 2. Is it? No. Maybe it was in Silent Hill 3 then. Because I know this track by heart and I don't listen to the Silent Hill 1 soundtrack very often. Alright, we're gonna reload. Somebody said reload the video. I'm so fucking pissed I had to sell my copy of Silent Hill 3, dude. I had a copy with the soundtrack in like mint condition. I had a great PS2 horror collection, y'all. I had Clock Tower. No, I still have Clock Tower 3, but I had all 3 of the Fatal Frame games that were on PS2. Man. Like I got good money for them, but I just needed money. Like there was a point where I really just really needed money, and the things that were worth the most I owned happened to be like PS2 games. Like it was at a point where I could sell like Silent Hill 3 for like 140 or something. Like it was a not inconsiderable amount of my rent. And I think I sold Silent Hill 2 as well. Go. Yep. The only 3 I have left are The Room, Origins, and the first one. And that's just because the first one I got this kick-ass. Let me show it off to my Silent Hill fans in the chat. I found this kick-ass custom cover at a used game store that somebody made for Silent Hill 1. And I love it so fucking much. It's just... Oh, I forgot about that. I put a postcard I had, Silent Hill postcard in here. But yeah, it's just the regular like PS1 copy of Silent Hill 1, but I just the cover art with Lisa holding the surgeon tray is so fucking cool, and it also has like a custom entirely PS2 formatted back and everything. Oh, what a great find. But other than that, I've got other stuff. Let's go through my PS2 horror game collection real quick here while we're waiting. We got these are kind of the remains of it, because I used to have more. God, I used to have an entire PS3 horror collection. Damn, son. I used to have Resident Evil like Dead Aim and Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is super easy to find, but I got the ones I kept. I got Dark Watch. Dark Watch is a certified banger. It's a first-person Western horror game where you like shoot vampires and ghosts and shit. Clock Tower 3. Another total bang. Clock Tower 3, for those who don't know, for my gays in the chat, Clock Tower 3 is actually a magical girl like transformation game. Let's turn that down a little bit. Yeah, Clock Tower 3 is a game where you play as a magical girl and outrun like slasher villains in different eras of history. It's fucking nuts. Clock Tower 3 goes hard. Very good game. I have this copy of Kuon, which does not work. It was I forget. It's just a burned copy. It's not an actual authentic copy of Kuon. And I've never been able to get it to work because you're supposed to use it with like a region-free boot device that lets you play like ripped DVDs. But never could get it to work, which is a bummer because I've always wanted to play Kuon. Kuon is a Japanese-themed horror survival game from Software that came out towards the end of the PlayStation era, so it is like super rare and hard to find. It's like one of those games that's like Kuon, Rule of Rose, and Haunting Ground are all in that same like the Impossible trilogy. Yes, Ghosty Boy, that was probably the one you're thinking of. Let me go. Let's see what does a copy of Kuon go? An authentic copy. I'm betting 600 and up. Betting 600 and up. Let me do, because some of the other games here I have are kind of rare. Like I have Silent Hill Origins. Let's do... I should have looked up PS2 because it's going to come up with Vita too. Oh, it's going to come up with... Yeah, it's like 100 or so. X-Files, Resist or Serve. This is one of my favorite horror games ever. It's not great, but it's really fucking fascinating. Was actually made off of several unaired episodes of the show, unfilmed episodes of the show that were written. X-Files, PS2. Yeah, it's like another 100 or so. 100-ish. Yeah. So I still have some stuff, but I did end up selling my most valuable things. But then Silent Hill 4: The Room is another one. Starting off with the theme of Laura.
こんにちは。サイレントヒルの情報をお伝えする番組サイレントヒルトランスミッションへようこそ。サイレントヒルシリーズのプロデューサーを務める岡本元井です。前回は多くのタイトルの最新情報を一気にお届けしましたが、今回はサイレントヒル2について
Oh, yeah, let me turn that up for y'all.
第2回目のサイレントヒルトランスミッションとなります。ぜひ最後まで配信をご覧ください。先ほどプレイステーションの配信番組でもサイレントヒル2の新たなトレーラーが公開されましたが、それとはまた別のゲームプレイ映像をご覧いただきたいと思います。それではこちらをどうぞ。
That sounds like a lot to go through. I hope you're doing okay. All right, let's go. It does look fucking good. Graphically, the environments, they've maintained that PS2 era grunginess. Although I like that they added faithfully remade in the original Vision.
What could she mean?
I think they took the criticism to heart. Okay, let's hammer on it a little bit.
This was our special place.
God damn, Maria looks good.
You promised you'd take me there again someday. But you never did.
Lamlot, I hope everything goes okay with you. I hope that works out. Sounds like you have a good plan.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said Mary. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. Is she really alive?
God damn, I have chills. Like, just... I have hair standing on end, like, right now.
What is this?
So this is the beginning of the game. It's when he first gets to Silent Hill.
Hey, wait.
He does have a super similar walk cycle too. Like I think they've done a lot more animation work because it looks like the fucking Silent Hill 2 walk cycle, like the weird awkward shuffle that James has. Why would you? So is this in the apartment building? That's not... Why? How are you going to say remade in the faithful original Vision and then you're not even going to have the first encounter be anywhere close to the fucking same? Like, why are you in an apartment? Like, why would you change that? They're turning him into goddamn Aloy. Like, and that is... It's just like Silent Hill 2 is such a very specifically constructed masterpiece where every part is intended to work in a very specific way, thematically, and they're fucking with things that, like, I don't think they understand the thematic value of, like the reason why people did it. Yeah, SPE777, I had a major concern from the moment I saw Bluebird. Me too. But, like, then there's stuff like this where I'm like, okay, that just looks like the fucking PS2 cutscene brought to life in super high definition. I fucking love that.
You didn't love Mary anyway.
What? Hey, wait!
How do you know her name?
Let me get another look at Maria, because she has like a redesign that I'm not a fan of. I don't think.
Where did she go?
Oh, no!
Let's look around.
This place feels so empty. More than the other places.
Remember when I was just talking about the things that are very specific? That they don't seem to understand the thematic value of? Maria's design is one of those. Maria is a character intentionally meant to represent James' repressed sexual urges. Like, she's meant to be a temptress. Not like this weird business casual thing, and now they have, like, the nurses. Oh, my God. Like, yeah, exactly. SPE, the hypersexuality is the point. It's not like Resident Evil 3 Jill, where it served, like, literally no purpose to have her be wearing, like, a skimpy shirt. Like, James's fucked up psyche, the psychosexual nature of James's story intertwines, not just intertwines with Angela's, but also Mary's and Maria's. It's a super important part of the fucking narrative, and you can't, like...
There.
Laura! Wait!
They changed the area where they find Laura, too.
It's okay! We don't want to hurt you!
God damn it. Now, where is that girl?
I don't get like this about many video games, y'all. Like, I am not precious about many games, but I don't know, man. Are they gonna end with the rooftop thing? If they turn the rooftop moment into like a boss fight, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like, yeah, and Ghosty Boy, I appreciate that. Like, again, I'm not super, like, precious about a lot of games. I think, you know, games should have room to reinvent themselves, and especially Silent Hill has such a legacy of being different things. But I think a remake, especially when it's several, coming off of several, what I would consider very mediocre efforts, or at least in terms of like Silent Hill Ascension, a straight up bad product, like a piece of dog shit, with Silent Hill Ascension, and then Silent Hill Short Message, which was just like, let's do PT but not as well. I don't know. Yeah, SPA777. I am trying to like go into it, because I love the Resident Evil remakes, right? Like I love 2 and 3 and 4. So like I'm okay with them. I've played through Silent Hill 2 so many goddamn times. They need to do that, you know. I don't want it to be the exact same. I am fine with that. Even if I'm bitching about it a little bit, I am fine with that. But the stuff around Maria already makes me mad. Also, you don't need to go through the... Okay, a key part of solving puzzles was examining items in your inventory, which also played into... Like, you had to examine items to find things and combine them, which also played into the endings that you could get. Where, like, you have... Like, you have specific items that if you look at them too much, because it's meant to be subtextual, that if James is thinking about them too much, they will give you a worse ending. So if you don't have that inventory, like, you're stripping away this entire level of depth to the game that was just, like, fun to explore and play with. Like, yeah, Ghosty Boy, the finishing moves, like... I don't know. There's a level of brutality that I just don't think is right for James. Like, it's giving very Last of Us. It's giving very, don't you feel bad for what you did? Okay, but again, like, they're ultra simplifying the puzzles there. Like, it's like, oh, you just use the bent needle to get the thing. It's like, no! The combat looks mid, but I don't expect much. Like, here's the thing. Combat in Silent Hill 2 was never that great. Like if we're being real, combat was never the draw of those games. This looks technically better than Silent Hill 2's combat. The combat is something I was never expecting to be that great, especially given Bloober Team has never really made a game with combat in it before. It's just like stripping away the depth of the game that is annoying the fuck out of me already.
And how do you know about Mary?
Mary's my friend. We met at the hospital last year.
Stop lying. Laura, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Fine! Don't believe me!
Yeah,
See if I care!
That was pretty good.
Let go!
I'm sorry, Laura, but I can't let you just run around this place. You might get hurt.
Hurt by what?
God damn, she looks pretty good. Laura looks really fucking good.
This is no place for a kid.
Fine. But... there's something I gotta get.
Laura.
It's important.
What is it?
A letter.
Oh, the Zodiac puzzle, the prison puzzle, like...
What?
I hid it.
I feel like they probably looked at that, knowing Bloober, they probably looked at that and were like, oh no, that kind of like adventure game logic is just so outdated and goofy now. And it's like, no, but that's... Like, they don't just like oversimplify it. Come up with something equivalent, you know?
You sure this is where you left it?
It's in the back. Behind an old pipe.
Okay, wait here.
I think the voice actor is doing a good job with James. He's not as like serious as
Open the door, Laura.
Why should I? I'm a
Troy
liar,
Baker,
right?
but he's way
Want me
better
to
than
open
Guy
it?
Seehee.
Huh? Do ya?
Let me out of here, you little
I would
brat.
love that. SPE777, I would love that if they made it more complex. I mean, like, the original Silent Hill 2 had multiple levels of puzzles.
There's something in here.
Sure there is.
Like, maybe...
A big lying fart face. See a fart face?
Laura! Laura!
Like, the original Silent Hill 2 and 3 had different levels of puzzles that you chose during the game. So, like, if they stripped that away also, like, what the fuck? What are we doing? Like, you had game difficulty and puzzle difficulty. I don't know. Like, Silent Hill 2 is also a game, even though I think graphically it looks really good, it's a game that was never going to show well.
皆さんいかがでしたでしょうか。真のサイコロジカルホラーであり、シリーズ最高傑作として評されたサイレントヒル2のストーリーはそのままに、本作ではよりその世界観に没頭できるようにゲームデザインやユーザー体験を強化しています。そしてすでに発表いたしました通り、発売日は10月8日です。こちらはプレイステーション5と Steam でリリースされます。またプレイステーションストアと Steam にて本日から予約の受付を開始しています。これからご紹介する事前予約特典などもご確認いただきアクセスしてみてください。ではここからは商品ラインナップのご紹介です。本作のスタンダードエディションを事前予約していただくことで特典としてミラのマスクがつきます。そしてプレイステーション5限定でロビー・ザ・ラビットのマスクも入手可能です。続いてはデラックスエディションのご紹介です。デラックスエディションにはサイレントヒル2の世界観をより楽しんでいただくためのデジタルアートブック、サウンドトラック、そしてピラミッドヘッドのマスクが含まれます。アートブックはコンセプトアーティストの伊藤正宏さんがデザインしたグリーチャーが登場するキャラクターやさまざまなロケーションのコンセプトアートが130枚以上収録されています。またサウンドトラックは今回も原作と同じように山岡明さんが手掛けており、原作の楽曲のアレンジ版のほか新曲も収録されています。どちらもシリーズファンの方には満足いただけるコンテンツになっていますので楽しみにしていただければと思います。
I mean, there's probably not much that they can do. 48 hours early access. Like, I'm willing to bet it being a purely single-player game, there's not much else you can give, you know, other than alternate costumes and stuff. Yeah, no, that's also SPE7. You're dead on. Is that fucking? They're Ubisofting this shit. It should be unlockable like other silly, goofy shit you get in the Silent Hill games. In Silent Hill Homecoming and in Silent Hill Origins, you get like 10, something like 6 to 8 unlockable costumes. And like that shit was always super fun to find. They better have, you know what, at least they aren't, I'm sure they'll have like the bonus weapons and stuff. God damn. Sorry, I did not mean to do that right into the mic.
I'm very excited for people to play this game. There's no one aspect that I could say that I want people to experience, because I want people to experience all of it. It's such a journey. It's such a big part of our lives, and I just want people to be able to see it.
I think the biggest challenge that we've had was actually how to make the game approachable for the newcomers who have not played the original, but at the same time to still retain the familiarity of the game that player remembers from 20 years ago.
Our goal from the very beginning was to maintain the game's atmosphere while modernizing the gameplay to make it competitive in 2024.
In the remake, the story remains largely the same.
Don't say
However,
largely the
with
same!
the magic of modern technology, we were able to expand on some of its aspects.
The hardest was designing combat. We want to be as faithful as possible to the original game, but also we want players to feel satisfaction while playing, remembering that we need to fit in horror genre standards.
So when making a game with static cameras, you as a designer have much more control over what players see, where they go, and so on. The change for the third-person perspective was a challenge. That being said, it's a chance for us to expand this world, to show the players new elements that were previously inaccessible, and just make this game richer.
So the main thing that requires rethinking was the fog, because it was called classic in the original game, and it's a veil that covers the world and makes the player to feel even more isolated.
New technologies.
Oh yeah,
gives us a
SPA,
chance
and
to
I
do
feel like
things that
they
were not
have
possible during the earlier generations
they've
of
done
video
the
games.
right thing
For
by getting
narrative,
Akira
this is very visible in
Yamaoka back
facial
for the
expressions. We
soundtrack.
can tell
Like,
so
obviously,
much
Silent Hill 2
through
is
just the subtle
most
changes in
famous,
characters' faces.
like Yamaoka soundtrack outside of like the first track.
The presented gameplay footage shows a fragment of the
just
city
Silent
from
Hill
the
2,
beginning of the game
Yamaoka,
and
but they
sections
also
in
have,
Brookhaven Hospital. The fight against monsters is prepared in a more tactical form, and it's mainly based on the varied designs of the enemies. James
who's
is not
the
used to
character
fighting,
designer?
so his arsenal
Masahiro
of attacks
Ito.
is
They also
limited.
got Masahiro Ito
Adapting
back.
your approach
Awesome,
to
kids.
situation
Thank you for
will be
subscribing
the
for
key
6
to
months.
success.
Man, my night's been great.
However,
Making out
your
with an
playing
envy,
style,
taking my
among
first dose
other
of prog,
things,
took my estrogen,
determines
found out
what
Trump was an
ending you
official
will discover.
criminal. How could this get any better? I am glad you are having a wonderful night. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your month.
本当にサイレントヒル2を
And
大
next
好きな
month
人
too.
たちがこのリメイクに関わっています。細部までこだわって作っていますのでご期待ください。さらにゲームの中でジェームス役、メアリーとマリア役を演じてくれたキャストのインタビューも届いています。
Ghosty Boy, I think
こちら
what
もご
they
覧くだ
mean
さい。
by saying the game is competitive is that means I think that was their way of saying as like non-native English speakers. I think that was their way of saying it is competitive with other games in the genre, so it is up to modern standards, essentially.
When you're playing an iconic character such as James Sunderland, you obviously have to respect the original.
When playing these characters in this game, the thing that I paid most attention to was the original game.
So he is not an action hero by any means. He is just a guy who is a little lost at the top of this game, and in a sense of he is to a greater extent in a bewildered state. So it's very interesting.
Phoebe RC, thank you for resubscribing for 4 months. Trump
his journey.
being found guilty will not
This
stop
one,
someone. Oh
we're
no,
trying
like,
to honor
it's not going to
something
dissuade
that's already
anybody
been
from
and so it's not
anybody.
Me
It's not going to
creating
dissuade
something. It's me
his hardcore base
channeling
from voting
something.
for him. Unless they literally.
The tone of this game is very important, and the team at Bluebird were very keen to create an incredible
we'll see.
atmosphere
It's such a
for the gamers.
I do believe that this will be trying its very best to capture and recapture the atmosphere, the vibe, and the story, and sometimes like the literal words and moments of the original.
Yeah, SP777. I think they are like that. Feels like what they're trying to do. Make her
本
more
作で
innocent
は
looking.
俳優の表情と演技をパフォーマンスキャプチャーすることで心理
Exactly.
描
Yeah,
写を強化して
Detomatic
い
is
ま
just
すの
gonna
で
push them
ぜ
further
ひ
to
期待して
treating
いた
like
だ
a
ければと
martyr.
思いますゲームについての情報はここまでとなりま
But it's
す
not okay. Let's hear.
続いては
I
映
do
画
want to see
リ
Return
タ
to
ーントゥ
Silent
サイレン
Hill.
トヒルの
As
最新
somebody,
情報が
the
届いており
first Silent
ま
Hill
す
movie, I will say, is
ご
one
覧
of my
くださ
favorite
い
movies ever. And all they had last time was basically production stills.
I came to adapt Silent Hill 2 with respect and passion. It's an act of passion for me. I consider that the 4 first games are a masterpiece, very modern and very transgressive piece of art. The second game is the most adult of all the Silent Hill. It's a story of James Sunderland. He has lost his beloved bride and he decided to go back to Silent Hill.
Is that Jensen
to find
Ackles?
her. And he realized that basically the town has changed. It became something like a hell, his own hell. And he's going through all this circle of hell to find
Oh,
her back
goddamn.
and
Okay.
find also somewhere a truth about himself. This film had an emotional level to the horror, and certainly because of that, the horror is even more disturbing, even more unsettling. I consider that the first film was like an epic journey for horror. This one is much more like a deep dive into the psychological horror. On the first film, production design of Silent Hill was the big thing. I remember that all my energy was on it. And on this one, I had the great surprise to realize that the people who were going to help me on the production design, but also on the makeup, but also on the costume, but also on every level of the film, I had in front of me very young technicians who knew the game, the film, and loved them. The level of enthusiasm that I met
Oh, that looks pretty good.
to create that strange world of Silent Hill was.
You know what? Here's the fucking thing: is that the Silent Hill Revelation is
and in fact,
almost a really good adaptation of Silent Hill 3. Like it comes this fucking close. But the production value and design is so like completely misunderstands the tone, and that completely fucks it all over.
So because it's made by people who knew.
Like having this attention to the tone. If this is indeed what he, is promising.
The stuff is really faithful and respectful to
like we'll see. But like
has always been really supportive.
We are working on their property.
It does look better than Revelations.
Let's say the world treasure.
Hassan of Blind Industries, thank you for following.
Of the first film, which is that all the creatures are played by dancers and acrobats. If the first film has not aged badly, it's because the creatures were actually in front of the actor on the set. So all the monsters on this film are played by real person with physical gift. They have created a level of strangeness and harmony.
This feels surreal. Like I legit never thought.
Which I think,
when I heard that he was trying to get it made, I was like, "There's no way it's going to actually happen." But like, oh man, they got the man on it.
The composer of the first 4 original games of the franchise. He was also the producer and the director of the game. So Akira Yamaoka, through his music, has given to the game more than just the sound. He gave the soul of the game. And I have a great knowledge about soundtrack, but I don't know any other music which could be like the one of Silent Hill. Yes, Akira Yamaoka is on this film. That's very important for me, because I'm working on his creation. I never forgot that. It's exactly like adapting a great book. It's important to show respect and humility into this process.
All right.
いかがでしたでしょうか。映画の完成が楽しみになりますね。ゲームとは少し異なる解釈で作られたもう一つのサイレントヒル2。ゲームと映画をぜひとも両方体験してみてください。続いてはサイレントヒルシリーズの最新グッズ情報をご覧ください。
最初にご紹介するのはサイレントヒル2のグッズです。まずはグッドスマイルカンパニーの商品です。リメイク版サイレントヒル2よりシリーズ屈指の人気クリーチャーレッドピラミッドシングはネンドロイドになって登場です。
About every aspect of Konami's Silent Hill reboot has been how transparent and craven it's felt. Because every part of it has felt constructed to like leverage it for merchandising ends. Especially when you look at the two things that they've actually released, Short Message and Ascension being dog water. Like Ascension is fucking terrible and was packed to the gills with just absolutely ass monetization bullshit.
サイレントヒルに登場する様々なアイテムが実際の商品となって登場します。まずはコインパズルセットとなります。原作のサイレントヒル2において、ブルークリークアパート105号室にあるドレッサーのくぼみに入れる3枚のコインを再現しました。コインは3枚セットでゲーム内のパズルを模した特製ディスプレイボックスに入れて
Yeah, exactly. SP, it's hey, remember this thing, buy this merch, essentially.
パープルブルキーカードとなります。こちらも原作のサイレントヒル2のブルックヘイブン病院にある
Like here are these
箱を開けるのに必要なパープルキーカードを再現して
like replica items from the games.
限定シリアルナンバーを封入してお届けします。
I mean, it's on one hand, it's kind of cool because, like, I might get that Seal of Metatron medallion actually, but like, on one hand, it's kind of cool because there's so little Silent Hill merch, especially over the last couple of years. On the other hand, they basically only ever make merch of Silent Hill 2. There's some stuff from 3 and 4 out there, some very limited stuff from Homecoming, but it has always been a primary focus to make Silent Hill 2 shit. Even my Pyramid Head is Silent Hill 2. I did too. I actually just bought some Silent Hill. I should have worn my shirts. I wasn't paying attention because of the Trump thing, but I have a a Silent Hill 2 or Silent Hill 1, somebody had limited edition shirts, and I was like, ooh, I love those designs so much because they're very like PS1, like kind of like horror vaporwavy. Like, goddamn, look at this shit, man.
続いて、プレイステーション5で無料配信中のサイレントヒルザ・ショートメッセージのご紹介です。現在までにグローバルで250万以上のダウンロードをいただいており、
the brisket jacket
シリーズのテーマを踏襲しつつ、現代に生きる人々へのメッセージを盛り込んだ短編作品です。これまでのサイレントヒルシリーズから独立した作品として遊んでいただけますので、
I want to see Silent Hill F. Like that is I am hanging all of my hopes and dreams on Silent Hill F, the Japanese Silent Hill game.
月光より桜ヘッド
So look at this. This is gonna be four.
ただいま予約受付中です。
Is that 4,000 yen? How many $100 of that?
伊藤正弘氏の完全監修を経て、
That's gotta be
儚い美しさと
1/6 scale.
プレイヤ
God
ーを
damn.
精神的に追い込む心にまとわりつく恐ろしさを宿したスタチューになっています。
Yeah, what is the exchange rate for that for anybody who knows again off the top of your head?
体のラインや足の造形にも細心の注意が払われています。続いては
Yeah, $350. Like fucking
オリジナルサウンドトラックです。
$350 statues is what we're getting here.
サイレントヒルシリーズを手掛けてきた山岡明氏が全楽曲の制作を行っています。
All right.
80曲以上の大ボリューム
80 songs. Tracks not in the game. Okay, well, I will download that. Thank you. I have a Akira Yamaoka playlist that I used to fall asleep to.
現在 Spotify や
It's actually just a
Apple Music
Silent
な
Hill
ど各
playlist.
種音楽ダウンロードサービス、ストリーミングサービスで配信中です。
皆さんいかがでしたでしょうか。サイレントヒルシリーズの世界観を表現したグッズをぜひお買い求めください。それでは最後に
3 hours, 17 minutes. My man's been
お届けしてき
working.
た中での一番のトピックスをもう一度。サイレントヒル2は10月8日発売。そして本日から
I mean, like, 350. I've never bought a collectible that. What's the most expensive collectible
チ
I
ェックを
bought?
お願いします。本日はようやくサイレントヒル2の新しい情報をお届けすることができ
I think 100 is about my
嬉しく
limit.
思っています。ぜひ発売まで楽しみに
Okay,
して
no,
い
my
ただければ
Metroplex was 150, but that was 50% off.
またこのサイレントヒルトランスミッションでは今後も継続してサイレントヒルシリーズの情報を皆さんにお届けしてまいります。続報を楽しみにしていてください。本日はご視聴いただきありがとうございました。
Most expensive one I bought now is that jacket. Fuck, man. I don't know, man. Like, and here's you want to know the truly, like, how deeply capitalist pilled I am, how deeply capitalist poisoned I am. I'm going to pre-order it. I know I am. I know I'm gonna. I need to get that 48 hours early access. I simply cannot. I can't not. Like, that's real right there. Okay, I'll be right back. I want to show off those Silent Hill shirts now. Because one of these I've actually been wearing. Like fairly regularly, and one of them I haven't broken in yet, but I loved the designs on these so much. I forget where they're from.
It was a. They usually do like horror stuff, but I wasn't familiar with the brand. It's a little bit expensive, but Dan Philandro, thank you very much for following. Here's one that I really like. Like, I think the designs on these are just fucking ill as hell. They have the PS1 like font and advertisement style. And I got XL because I really like. I barely wear an L anymore, and I think I probably got. These are 2XL. I probably should have just gotten XL because I'm kind of swimming in these, but it's okay because I like the casual look. And then this is the other one I got. And I think, like, the PS1 models and everything, oh, such good fucking designs. Such good designs. And if they had more shit like that, I'd probably buy a little bit more. Yeah, man, I don't know. What time is it? Oh, shit. Pyramid Head. Come on now. It is almost 5. What do we want to do, y'all? I know I wanted to... Let me actually go back. Let's cover some Trump stuff again. Let's see if there's any more... Any more to cover there, because I don't want to be. I don't want to dig into the cast stuff today, honestly. Just because it's such a fucking bummer. Mayako Yamada, can we please do the cast review?
Kind of argue that in some degree, but not articulate it in a legal. The fact that Stormy Daniels testified, and they can argue that some of her statements about the sexual acts that occurred were more prejudicial than probative. So I think that's where they may go, less about the speed of the conviction.
I will cover the
what
cast
this
review at
appeal
some
process
point
might look
because
So
what I wanted to cover.
The appeal process starts once.
Okay, I do
you
want to
are
hear about the
sentenced, so
appeal
July
process
11th.
though, really quick.
However, there are some other avenues that you can explore before that. You can ask Judge Marchand, for example, to have an abeyance pending the.
All right, so give me 1 second, and I can talk a little bit about the cast review.
Appeal, so just basically hold off on the case because there are potential appellate issues. You could have a motion to set aside the verdict. You can also make an appeal to the First Department, which holds Manhattan, and ask them to have a stay pending appeal. So there's potential appeals that occur before sentencing, but by and large, those arguments may not work, and Donald Trump may be left to appeal after the sentencing on July 11th.
Recent polls suggest that many Americans found this hush money trial to be a weaker case than the 3 other criminal cases that he faces in Florida, Georgia, and Washington, D.C. Do you think that today's verdict might in any way impact his other legal battles?
So I think Arthur Adala said it was, I'm going to stay inside my legal lane and not necessarily talk about his other impacts for political reasons. But I don't think that this will affect him from a legal standpoint. He is a convicted felon, but that conviction occurred after those other charges were indicted and he was charged with. So it's not like he's walking into these other charges and they're going to say, you know what, he was convicted in New York and we're going to apply that directly to the case. Of course, jurors will know about it and they'll be told by the judge in whatever state that he could go to trial with that you should not consider that, but it might be in the back of the heads of some of the jurors. So in that sense, it could affect them.
And last question for you. What can you tell us about the jury in a case like this? Will we likely be hearing from them and the time that it took to come to this conviction?
Oh, absolutely. So when it comes to jurors, and we heard it from Judge Marchand, they are now released to speak with the media, speak with anyone they want.
I wonder...
I don't think they're going to be rushing to speak with anyone. Probably won't get anyone tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I somewhat jokingly,
I do wonder when it comes to the media or it comes to the jurors...
where you had
I'm really curious about how much they're actually going to talk, because if you come out as a juror that condemned Trump, and especially if he actually like ends up doing time and more stuff, like you are putting, and they have to know this, they have to know the massive target that they're putting on their own backs.
Someone made an abrupt turn in the last minute, and that's going to be a very interesting piece if we can find out what happened.
Certainly will be very interesting to hear that fly perspective on the wall in there. Brian Buckmeyer, so appreciate
Yeah, appearing publicly like that, you are making, like, you are going to get death threats, if not somebody actually trying to kill you.
since the verdict this evening.
But Lindsay, as you know, it's not been uncommon to see a crowd or multiple crowds gathering outside of the courthouse here. I will say from the moment that the word of a particular verdict came down, the crowd seemed to grow. I mean, it really swelled. Not quite the number that you are seeing now. In fact, Lindsay, you know, from one side of the park to the other, it was shoulder to shoulder. I mean, hundreds of people out here. In fact, within the past 20, 30 minutes or so, NYPD actually moved the barricades back. So you can see this is kind of fizzling out, but still a number of demonstrators do remain. We do still see signs: guilty, ask your daughter, Trump, or doctor, Trump in prison is right for you. Justice matters. And for that, I want to bring in Jay Walker. You've been out here for how long since this verdict?
I mean, we at Rise and Resist is the organization I work with, and we've been coming out regularly since the trial began, and earlier points during this whole saga with Trump and the court system here in New York. But today, just the moment that we heard that the jury had returned with a verdict, we had a pre-existing plan. The second we found out, we would all join down here, and so about 25 members of our group showed up and were able to have a little demo. We already had our Trump is guilty banner, and so we were able to have a little fun.
And so, Jay, what was your initial reaction and the reaction from the group? Because I was out here the moment that, you know, the crowd got word that there was a verdict, right? I saw folks watching the coverage on their phones, waiting to see what that verdict was going to be. But what was the reaction from the group here?
I would say the most jubilant we've been since that Saturday after the 2020 election, when the results were announced. The fact that he was found guilty on every single count, that matters a great deal. Obviously unanimous verdict from the jury, but guilty on every single one of 34 counts. That this jury of ordinary Americans, including some lawyers, which is, was great, the people that know the law were in that jury. They found it guilty. It's an incontrovertible result. It's not like there was guilty on this, not guilty on that. He was found guilty on every single charge. It was indisputable that he did this, and I think that's going to matter a great deal to that middle in our electorate. The 30 to 35%, the MAGA base, no one cares about them. They could watch him kill a 4-year-old child.
Oh my God,
and still
dude.
vote for him. But
I mean, like, you're not wrong, but also this is public television. Like, come on.
But who just sort of start paying attention in September and October of an
Dark
election
Excalibur,
year.
there is
I think that
there's shockingly still a massive middle.
Thank you so much.
Like, people don't take into account, like, the entire way that Trump got elected was because he played to the middle better than Hillary did.
Morgan, before we let you go, I'm just curious because obviously we see
like the middle is something that people constantly, people are always like, oh, with the state of America is in, how can you be a middle voter? You completely underestimate the amount of people who live their lives daily not involved in any kind of politics. Like, at all. Like, they have political beliefs. I'm sure they believe things, but they do not engage with candidates or anything until election time comes.
It seemed like one side were, pro-Trump supporters, and then one side were anti-Trump supporters. And of course, I did have a chance to speak with some pro-Trump supporters earlier. They were very disappointed, and at times there were a few clashes in the moments after that verdict came down, where it kind of got a little tense. They were frustrated. I heard, folks saying that, and kind of echoing what the former president was saying about this, the claims about this, being rigged. We heard that being echoed outside of the courthouse here, but certainly tensions running high briefly, but for the most part, things remaining safe outside of the courthouse.
All right, Morgan Norwood for us right outside of the courthouse. Thanks so much, Morgan. Former President Trump's son is reacting tonight with this tweet saying May 30th, 2024 might be remembered as the day Donald J. Trump won the 2024 presidential
You fucking
election.
wish. It is your only
and now
key
I
to
want to bring in
relevance,
ABC
Eric.
News chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl. John, and
Let me see
ABC
if I
News
can
Ipsos
go.
poll showed that even if convicted, 80% of Trump supporters would still vote for him. That leaves, of course, 20% who might change their vote, not to mention many independents who are of the same mindset. Do you think that these sentiments hold through Election Day, or is this just more of an immediate response here?
Well, look, if that holds through Election Day, if
I see some malding on
of
here.
Donald Trump supporters reconsider their support for him, and you see 4% of those say they will definitely no longer support him, then Donald Trump is very unlikely to win in November. But look, Lindsay, we don't
Thank
know
you
how
very
it's
much,
gonna
His
play out.
Majesty,
I mean,
your
Donald
grace,
Trump is
for
now
following.
going to do with all the powers at his disposal, all the supporters that he has, including the leaders of the Republican Party in Congress, at the Republican National Committee, in many of the state houses, they will go on the attack against
Breaking,
this
Donald Trump
jury,
becomes first
against
actor
the
from Home
criminal
Alone 2 to be
justice
convicted
system,
of 34
against
felonies.
the prosecutors that brought
God,
these charges.
he looks fucking also,
and they will
like,
try
look at
to
him.
sow
He looks
doubts and
rough.
say that this was a
Like, he has
political
not been
prosecution.
sleeping
And
because
we'll
he's
see
guilty
how
as
that
fuck.
campaign,
He has not been
works.
eating
Again,
well because
you
he's
just
guilty as
don't
fuck.
know.
The
You
man
just
looks
don't know.
rugged.
We saw
Good for him.
when Donald Trump was indicted. He's been indicted. Let's not forget.
Here we go.
in 4
The
different
Democrats
cases.
have succeeded in their years-long attempt to turn America into a third world shithole. November 5th is our last chance to save it. You notice how
But we saw those indictments play
last
out over the last
oh my God, the
year and a
fucking
half or so, and Donald Trump's support among Republicans.
the official Rolling Stone account
He found a rhythm in his campaign.
fucking trolling
by
with this
portraying
meme.
a victim. In fact, the very
Like-
fact that he was under prosecution
Real.
was something that he used.
This meme
as
is
the
very
beating
real.
heart
Holy
of
shit,
his,
dude.
Presidential campaign, portraying himself.
I
as
do
a
want to see. I want to
victim,
see Maddow's reaction really
and,
quick. I want to see Maddow's
telling
reaction.
his supporters
I don't really care about Rachel Maddow so much, but
Democratic prosecutors were going after him.
I don't care about Rachel Maddow so much, but I
Guilty. Those are the first 5
I know it's
counts
gonna be
coming
good.
out of this jury, finding Donald J. Trump guilty on the first 5 felony counts. Reading the rest as we are getting it from our court reporters.
Starting with count 6.
Count 6, guilty. Count 7, guilty. Count 8, guilty. And you'll see on the screen we're tracking ahead. Count 9, guilty. Count 10, guilty. Count 11, guilty. Count 12, guilty. Count 13, guilty. Count 14, guilty. Count 16, guilty. Count 17, guilty. Count 18, guilty. Count 31, guilty. Count 32.
You know, this is an irreducible verdict. He can appeal. I'm sure he will appeal. But this is everything that the prosecution asked for from a jury that, by all accounts, took this thing very, very seriously. We counted the deliberation hours down here.
see. She's like, it's that little smirk. I don't care for Maddow, but the fact that so many right wingers hate her so much, I know that gets under their skin. I love it. You love to see it, folks. You really do.
Because their real target is them.
Here we go.
Talk us through likely sentencing. Given this is a low-level felony, what could we hear in terms of the sentence on July 11th?
Well,
Today was the day
range,
Donald Trump
here
finally
can be
became
anything
president.
from simply probation, absolutely no jail time, to 4 years in prison. The consensus among most legal experts on this is it's highly unlikely that a first-time offender in a case like this, the lowest level of felony in New York, will receive any jail time. And let's not forget, no matter what the sentence we hear on on July 11th, no matter what the sentence we hear, Donald Trump's going to appeal this case. And
Yeah,
that
we
appeal
Lily
is
Jade,
gonna
you
take
bring
a
up a
long
great
time.
point. We do
It's
not
certainly gonna
know
take well past
what
the election, well past,
like nobody
November,
knows what it's
but
going to
the
look
appeals
like yet.
process could take years.
And interesting that you said November, because that is what Donald Trump said.
Let's go
after
Freedom
all this
News, hell
came
yeah.
out of court. He said that's when the real verdict.
Let's watch some good old.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! You gonna vote for a traitor? Get the fuck out of here! Faggot! You're the faggot! You're the faggot! You're the faggot!
I guess I guess slur warning. Trump fans really, really reaching across the aisle. Really, I wonder how the gay vote is going to turn out this year. Like, by the way, if anybody out there, on the off chance somebody is watching and they're one of those, well, I'm a Republican and I'm gay. It's like, this is how they see you. Like, they hate you. Why? Why do you hate yourself that much? Have some dignity. Have some respect.
Get the fuck out of here, bitch! Bitch! You have a cunt between your legs. You're a little pussy. You're a pussy. You're a pussy. Do you hear me? You're a
Oh, he's a gay.
Little shrivelly pussy. That's what you are.
Why would you as a gay person? What? I don't understand it. I don't get the LARP. Like, I don't see who it benefits. I did briefly consider yesterday when I saw that they were doing a verdict soon. I briefly considered, like, how quickly could I get on a plane to New York to go blend in with that crowd? Go undercover as a Trump supporter. I could probably do it pretty quick. I don't want to. I have so much going on, though.
That's all you are is a cunt. Yeah, run. You're not even a man. We're gonna eat you. We're gonna eat you and your family alive. Oh, I'm so proud of you.
What?
Oh, you little bitch. Knock him down. Knock the bitch down. Get the fuck out.
We will eat. That's just like that. Lily Jade Katrin, you need to take care of yourself better than this. I'm taking care of myself okay. I've been eating good, working out. Yeah, no, like, we're gonna eat you. It's just like that one line from D in Always Sunny. I will eat your babies, bitch. Like, what? Like, nobody needed to escalate it to that point. I want to see who I want to see react. Let's go. Actually, let's see. Do we have more freedom news?
Will be rendered on November 5th. All right, Jonathan Karl, our thanks to you. I want to bring in ABC's executive editorial producer, John Santucci, who's joining us now. John, curious to know what you're hearing from the Trump campaign team and his family, how they're reacting to today's verdict.
You know, it's interesting, Lindsay. Surprise is the word that I keep hearing, but surprise is almost split into two buckets. Surprise at how quickly this verdict came. I mean, you heard Olivia Rubin and our colleague Josh Einiger at WABC talking about this earlier, that Donald Trump was relaxed in that weird 15-minute period where it seemed like the jury was going home for the day. So I think that shock to the system really has verbiated throughout Trump's inner circle, his family, Trump Tower. But not a lot of surprise at the result. I mean, you know, there were many people going into it,
not talking
Trump
about
himself said Mother Teresa could not beat these charges, almost prepping themselves that this could not go his way. So I think that, coupled with the fact that, you know, an argument Donald Trump and his allies have made for so long, Lindsay, that it's New York. He couldn't get a fair shake in New York. And look, Donald Trump.
Let's go to political commentator and knower of things
over the last couple of years. This is
Matt Walsh,
made it in Manhattan,
who undoubtedly has ridiculous takes on this. God damn, I'm craving carbs, y'all. I'm craving carbs so bad. I want to go get a pizza. I want to go get. Oh God, you know what sounds like it would hit so much. No, I'm resisting it. I'm resisting the temptation. Be proud of me. Oh, but like a stuffed crust pizza? Fuck, man. Oh, spinach and bacon pizza? Stop it. Stop it. One of those crustless ones. Ooh, cauliflower. Okay, now you're talking my language. I could go to Mod and get a cauliflower crust. Fight the temptation. Think about you being the temptation. That's true. Aspen Jag, thank you very much for following. My work here is done. But you didn't do anything. Let's go see what Matt Walsh has to say. The only solution... God, Jesus. Do we want to know what his solution to the violent crime epidemic is? I'm pretty sure it's just murder. Oh, yeah. He's also been on a weird tear hating on fat people. Just like really anybody overweight. Like anybody who's like, actually, yeah, I've struggled with losing weight my entire life. I was on a medication that did this, or I have a condition that does this. And Matt's just like, well, just have self-control and eat less. Like, fuck you. You bitch. I will be making a sizable donation to the Trump campaign tonight. Donald Trump should make and publish a list of 10 high-ranking Democrat... Stop it. Why are you doing this? God, Twitter, stop. Jesus Christ. If we'd strayed outside the norm... Wait. No, wait. Publish a list of 10 high-ranking Democrat criminals who he will arrested when he takes office. First on the list should be Joe Biden. Second should be Joe Biden's crackhead son. Does he think Hunter is a high-ranking official? Thank God nobody ever followed through on the lock her up chance and charged Hillary with any crime. So here you are saying that Donald Trump didn't do what he promised, but then you're like, oh yeah, actually I'm gonna definitely vote for him again. Like this guy who he didn't follow through on the lock her up chance. But oh boy, we need to uphold the, like he should have, but he's not gonna, and he didn't, but I'm gonna vote for him. Fucking Trump is not black, not a Democrat, not a violent criminal, so he really had no chance of being acquitted in a New York City court. My man is... Like, Matt Walsh cannot... He's gotten to a point, I feel, where he cannot have an opinion without trying to make it racist. Whoa, Lily Jade Guitrin, that's crazy. Okay, so I know this is going to be long. The moment I truly understood intersectionality and the way fascists attack everything was the time I stumbled across a Tumblr page photoshopping BBW models to be skinny. When I scrolled down far enough, I found actual Nazi worship. Yeah, black people well known for not getting convicted. Good job, Matt. Fucking dumbass. All right, I'll be right back. Gonna fill water. Felony crime of running for re-election. Fuck you. Congratulations to Donald Trump on winning the 2024 presidential election. Justice has been effectively dead for a while in this country. Today was its funeral. This will be overturned on appeal, but nothing can truly undo the travesty that is... Oh, God. If it doesn't get undone on appeal, I want... And it probably will, because this is probably going to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has been packed with Trump nominees and Trump appointees. But a total travesty of justice. Man. Yeah, Matt is posting to the gods today. Ukrainian, happy Trump conviction day. Yeah, it will go to appeal. I'm sure they will try to, again, because when they appeal, they can bring it to a higher court. I'm relatively sure they will go as high as they can.
And it has nothing to do with Manhattan anymore, right? Think about where Donald Trump lives. Think about how many properties around New York that once bore his name, they no longer do. You think of the ice skating rink in Central Park, the golf course. There's so many others. And his children. All three of Donald Trump's...
All right, who else should we see coping and seething? Let's go. Oh, you know what? I want to see what Alex Jones has to say.
With Donald Trump down to the Sunshine State of Florida. I do think the other thing that's interesting right now is how quickly the campaign is going to try to turn a page here. Look, the press conference that's going to happen tomorrow.
False flag alert.
Trump,
okay,
right?
okay.
He wants to get out there. He wants to fight back.
Of course.
The images that we saw earlier tonight when he returned to
They
Trump
have
Tower,
to-
punching his fist in the air. That is so
Trump gets, they call him up.
Right now, President Trump.
And Alex has to immediately put out an alert that they're going to, that because he knows the conservative penchant for violence and reactive violence, he has to say, okay, they're going to, so like, if somebody does something, it's a false flag. He has to get that narrative out there immediately.
Was just found guilty on all 34 kangaroo counts, with the judge saying you don't even have to agree, just find him guilty in total violation.
That's not at all what the judge said, but whatever. All right, here we go. Let's.
Was founded. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we see our
Now,
republic
ladies and
on
gentlemen.
its deathbed right now. President Trump was just found guilty on all
God
34
damn, he looks
kangaroo
rugged.
counts, with the judge saying you don't even have to agree, just find him guilty in total violation of law. They don't care the case will be overturned. They want the headline in this campaign that he is a convicted felon because they believe that'll backfire on President Trump. I predict, as I've done for the last year, that all these fake indictments and fake convictions that are coming will backfire on the deep state and the globalists. The problem is, if you look at their next playbook and the next card.
If you look at their next playbook, they don't have a fucking playbook. The deep state and the globalists. God damn. I took a little knowledge fight break because I've been listening to audiobooks lately, but it's so easy to forget how dumb Alex Jones is. How he has been saying the same cookie cutter shit for decades at this point.
Their next move, it will be false flag terror attacks blamed on Trump's supporters angry about the verdict. We do not want any violence. We do not want any attacks. We are intellectually, culturally, spiritually winning. We've got to back Trump to the hilt. He's not perfect, but he's America first. He cares about this country, and he actually tried to be the president and turn this country around 90%. And the deep state believes they own this nation. They believe they own you. He pulled us out of the UN Health Treaty. He pulled us out of the WHO. They want all of that in place. They want to cut off our energy. They want to put the carbon taxes in. They want to dissolve our borders. They want drag queen pedophile time. And President Trump is opposing every one of their agendas. So now is the time to get serious with 158.
Oh yeah, he's an idiot. Ghosty boy, the worst part about Jones is that even when you try to take him seriously, something about him just shuts down. Like, he is so, like, he's a liar. Like, he might be one of the most transparent liars in a sea of liars that comprise the right-wing media ecosystem. He is one of the most blatant, easily proven liars. Like, you can pick something that he says as a fact where he's like, you're like, oh, and of course this was all revealed in the Globalist and the documents that these were of course revealed in court, folks, and this was mentioned in the Supreme Court, and so all of this stuff, this is the documents, folks. They're all out there. Like, and go look at any fucking one of the sources that he cites, and it's fucking bullshit. Just bow to Stern. And Vita in Paradise, yeah, exactly. I've read the white papers. I've read the Soros documents, everybody. Like, he's just such a fucking... Biden announces plan to bomb Russia after Trump show trial convictions. Support Dr. Jones Naturals. Good God. Lord in heaven. All right, let me see. Is InfoWars live? Infowars.com. No, Ghosty Boy, he doesn't. He does not he does not show his evidence. He always, if you ever watch his show for like any amount of time, you'll notice he does this thing where he'll talk about, we've got so many stories to get to today, folks, and we're just gonna get them at the top of the stack, and he'll like have a stack of papers and read like a headline. Never delve in past the headline, because the headline is what he just wants to talk about. It doesn't want to actually deal with the facts, and then he'll never get to the rest of the stories. Like, it is the there is this nebulous like pocket dimension that he continually refers to, where he's gonna get to the other stories, he's gonna get to all this stuff. And that pocket dimension is where all of his proof goes. He's like, well, when we come back, well, we're going to show off the top secret documents that prove everything we've been saying and prove that Soros and the globalists are behind all of this and trying to destroy America. And he never fucking does. Like, it's this constant, like, carrot on a stick he dangles in front of his audience. Special report. Band.video. Hi, Reaver of Darkness.
He's got a bush.
The Duke arrives. You know, the feds are spying on that jury. You know, they're talking about not convicting Trump because they can't find a crime, even in New York. That's why the judge put his ass on the scale yesterday and said, you don't have to unanimously agree on any crime here. Just, you can all have separate crimes you think he did.
That's another thing he does. He always talks about his sources. He'll just be like, and of course we have a source on the inside. He'll never mention the source, and he'll just make up some bullshit because he knows his audience would be like, oh no, Alex has a source, and not question it. The Reaver of Darkness, thank you for following. Oh yeah, let me get on that hot. Trump is going to win in a landslide. Must watch Alex Jones Steve Bannon interview. God, nightmare. All right, yeah, let's see what's going on in the Stone Zone, and then go check out Alex Jones's coverage. Aw, thank you very much, Reaver of Darkness. I'm glad. His source went to another school. You wouldn't know them. Yeah, like if you ever want to, I cannot recommend. I know I've talked about Knowledge Fight a lot, but I cannot recommend Knowledge Fight enough.
First of all, one cannot poll within the eye of the storm. I see online people already have Insta polls out. Those appear to prove that the president has sustained no damage, that the American people have seen through this. But it's going to be a day or two. We also don't know whether, given the irregularities, there is some possibility of Trump appealing directly to the U.S. Supreme Court on due process issues.
Imagine being a Funko Pop guy for Ronald Reagan propaganda.
Very rarely have we had a president of the United States in this circumstance.
Yeah, this is a constitutional crisis.
There's no question about it.
Is that fucking Owen Schroyer?
It's hard to digest. This all just happened. Like you, I haven't had a chance to read all of it, but I must say, I'm not
like a racist Cracker Jack. No, it's not out of pocket. It's
rigged.
Completely deserved.
Oh, yeah,
a lid,
we
75. Thank you very much.
You said he's going to be convicted. It's New York. What the hell's wrong with these people?
Well, look, Trump could have had Clarence Darrow and Abraham Lincoln as his lawyers, and he still would have been convicted. This was a rigged deal from day one.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now.
Are you?
Sadly,
I want to go back. I don't care about Roger Stone. I want to go and get the actual thing. Ooh, actually, I might go see. I know what I'm going to do tonight. Never mind.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth about.
Christ, I am sorry, everybody. Fuck.
Visit Infowars.com.
It's so loud. Holy
support
shit.
The InfoWars.
No, Mothlick, Alex, there's no way he believes what he says. And the sad part about Alex and his audience is that I know there are people who hang on his every word. There are people who are like, oh, Alex Jones was always right. And it's
May 20th, 2024. The New York jury in the historic show trial asked to have the instructions read to them again. They were confused, so was the whole world, and the judge reissued them the same way.
That's not. Sometimes you can just that's not what that means. If you should want them to be super clear on the rules. Like the idea of, oh, well, it's a show trial, so the idiot jurors had to have them read the rules again. No, they want to be clear on the rules so they can give the best verdict they can. Like,
Unanimously, he committed a crime. You can all pick different crimes and just say he's a criminal. Top lawyers, both liberal and conservative, chimed in. They say that's completely illegal and absolutely unprecedented in English common law, in U.S. law. It is unbelievable.
Now, notice, already we're a minute in and you can see exactly what I was talking about, where he says top lawyers. Do we think he's going to name those lawyers? The things that apparently prove his point. Like, if he has the lawyers, then obviously, like, he's right about this. Do we think he's going to name the lawyers? Outside of, I'm willing to bet, like, Alan Dershowitz or somebody who's obviously, like, a partisan hack. Let's find out.
He's not putting his thumb on the scale. He's putting his tyrannical fat ass on it. And President Trump has come out and just destroyed it. It's all coming up. We're simulcasting on X Spaces. Come in 30 minutes. We will.
I like how
taking your live comments and speakers on air. And
the way that's worded makes it sound like Trump destroyed the ass.
I'm thinking the verdict comes out sometime today, maybe tomorrow, because they want to have a long weekend to hide. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and go to what President Trump said this morning, calling the judge a corrupt crook, which is what he is.
Thank you very much. Here we go again. 5 weeks. I've been here on gagged. I'd like to answer all of your questions. They're very easy questions to answer, but I'm gagged, so I can't talk as much as I would like to about this ridiculous case that's hurting our country so badly. Some of the reviews from yesterday are and by the way, everyone's against this case. I haven't seen one legal scholar or expert in the law say that this case should have been filed. It should not have been filed, or at a minimum, it should have been filed 7 years ago. It's 7 years old. Everybody turned it down, including federal elections turned it down. Southern District turned it down. Bragg turned it down. Then he rejuvenated it when I was running for office.
He sounds so nasally. Yeah, no, like Sylveon PDF. Sylveon PDF. You have me in the first name, but do you know what PDF is shorthand for on the internet in your username? I hope you don't. You should change that last name because it might give some people the wrong idea. But no, I was just noticing that too. He sounds like the dude sounds sick. He got the sniffies, which is fine.
The editors of the National Review say acquit Trump. Bragg has failed to prove his charges. Totally failed. Greg Jarrett, who exactly was defrauded? Voters who had already...
Sylveon PDF, no, I just know it's a picture file. Yes, so Sylveon, and in your defense, I think it's only really started happening. I've only seen it probably in the last year or two, but people use PDF, and especially PDF file, when talking about people who abuse children. So, like, just so you're aware of that. Yeah, Pet Dogma, that's a good idea. I changed it to PNG, JPEG. Like, honestly, either of those would work. Because it's just... It's not your fault. You probably don't know about it. But, yeah, it's something I've only really noticed recently. But it is something I've seen a lot of people do. And they usually do that to avoid... Like if they're discussing stuff on... like stream and stuff like that, so I have to use it for that. But that is my recommendation. I hope you can weather that storm. But I am glad to have you here otherwise.
voted.
Just not Aviv.
Because all of this stuff came in after the election. So how were they defrauded? And then you say, what about Hillary with the dossier? What about all of these other things that go? And this is
he's really slurring his words. Holy shit.
All of the corrupt that you've seen over the last year on behalf of the Democrats, and nobody talks about it? This is ridiculous what they're talking about. This is called running for office. Greg Jarrett, the government, which received full payment on all taxable income. The government, by the way, received full payment. The taxes were paid in full. In fact, they make comment on that. Even if the taxes were paid in full, the Federal Elections Commission that concluded the money paid did not constitute a campaign contribution.
No, it's Sleepy Don is taking over.
And remember, this judge wouldn't allow us. Look, he's a very conflicted judge. Everybody knows that. You don't want to talk about what the conflict was. I'm not allowed to talk about it because of a gag order that he put on me. So one subject he really doesn't want to talk about. There was no fraud. There was no conspiracy. It's that simple. Moreover, without a primary crime, there can be no secondary crime. It's a classic lawfare, weaponizing statutes. Because the law has been, okay, right? Because no law has been broken. That was Greg Jarrett. Ellie Honig, legal analyst for CNN. The crime here is not easy to explain or to understand. It's just not understandable. In other words, there is no crime.
That's not what that says. That's not what that means. If somebody says, this is hard to understand, it's hard to explain to somebody, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Like the theory of relativity exists. Gravity exists. It's hard to properly explain in detail. Fucking what? Dude. That's nuts. That's crazy.
Catherine Christian from MSNBC, I call it MSDNC, legal analyst. It's difficult because it's a very nuanced argument. It's never been prosecuted before. This is an argument that has never been prosecuted.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the conclusion of his 7-minute statement. We come back, and then liberal, conservative, top analyst judges are weighing in, saying this has never before been done.
Let's go. I want to see. I want to get to Alex reacting.
We've ever had. They said this is
yeah.
By the jury, and yet this judge says it doesn't matter. Not in New York. The Constitution does not apply in New York, which means
let's see.
We'll be right back. When we came out with nitric boost,
fucking no.
Relative, the underage relative. I mean, it's just every time I see these people, it makes me sick.
You mean Jill Biden's not a good person?
No, she's not. I don't think so.
All right, who's up next? We have the Trump verdict watch in the kangaroo trial in New York. Trump totally...
Yeah, no, decoy tricks. It's because nobody...
No one can deny we're at a critical juncture in history. Chase Geiser and then Brian Rose, what would you call this moment in history?
He rendered in one of his judgments that says, yeah, technically under the law he didn't rape her, but that's only because New York state law is so... What? Stand up and uphold the Constitution.
Or are they trying to fix it, bringing in a new guard? So you astutely answered my question partly.
You know, I honestly believe this crypto card is something that is going to change.
No, you're good, decoy tricks.
The administration do an entire 180 over the past 7 days and go from Elizabeth Warren and her cronies trying to lock people up for owning crypto to basically Biden giving Gary Gensler at the SEC a green light to approve this next ETF for Ethereum. And I think they're starting to realize that 50 million Americans own crypto. And
goddamn shilling crypto, my God.
YouTube over the years and the amount of ad views simply from people viewing your content. Joe Rogan, same thing. Do you really think at this point that they actually care about millions of dollars when they're worth trillions? Where does the financial pressure actually apply? When
like it just turned into a crypto fucking shilling thing. Where the fuck did Alex go?
Used to buy that. Oh, you donated that? We're going to restrict your freedoms. That's super dangerous. And that's why I'm pro Bitcoin. And I'm even pro financial institutions like BlackRock promoting Bitcoin because they're promoting an instrument of...
What the fuck? How did this become crypto? I was skipping around trying to find... I guess Alex doesn't actually...
Repentance and compassion for them. And I know you know that. I know at a deep level you actually know that. You've expressed that so many times. So that's the first thing. The next thing he told me to say to you is that do not fear about your financial woes, my friend. You are about to see abundance.
Oh, okay. Is he getting a call from God? Okay, hang on. He took Twitter stuff for a while.
Of London Real, this new film coming in. Everybody knows, unless you've been hiding in a cave somewhere for 20 years, that fish oil does incredible things. But not all.
God damn.
Of known
My God.
that just do incredible things for our immune systems, our health.
It's just like it's such a grift all the fucking way down with this guy. It's like it never stops.
A limited run exclusively at drjonesnaturals.com. Check it out today, and I thank you for your support. And for breaking news and updates, be sure and follow me at Real Alex Jones here on X. We are back live, hour number 3. I'm hosting all 4 hours today. All right, Chase Geyser.
Well, that's a fucking lie.
Of London Real riding shotgun with us. We'll host right through into the 4th hour today. Viva Fry, other lawyers coming up on the Trump verdict watch in New York. Let's go to more speakers on X, Chase.
All right, let's go to Prometheus. Prometheus, go ahead and unmute yourself and say what you have to say if you're still with us.
Amen. Of course I'm here with you, Chase. Such an honor. Brian, so good to see you, my friend. Alex, as usual, brother. I've been praying in the Holy Spirit before coming online.
Oh, my God.
Speaking to you.
Yeah, let's
God
go.
has been giving me a couple words directly
Let's
about
go.
yourself, Alex. So if you...
This guy has words from God to give to Alex Jones. Let's fucking go.
Will just allow me to begin with a prayer. Holy Spirit, thank you so much for these warriors who are at this final hour before your return. We know that you have a master plan, a master chess move that you are unfurling upon this earth right here, right now. And I thank you, Lord, for being with such amazing warriors. Amen.
The Reaver of Darkness. I thought Dr. Jones was a Grand Theft archaeologist. My father was Dr. Jones. We named the dog Indiana. All right. Continue.
All right.
I accept that and ask God to make that so.
Amen, sir. Amen, as always. So the first thing, Alex, that the Lord spoke to me about is that he wants you to deeply relax. Not relax in the sense of...
It's over, Vita in Paradise. And thank you, Pet Dogma.
In the spirit now, brother.
It's funny God's been telling me to do that. That's funny you say that. It's very,
God.
I agree with that.
Exactly. So that's confirmation, right? This is the Holy Spirit moving between us both as fractals of the great I am oneness node that we are, right? It's moving like a ping pong ball, right? All right. So the first thing is to relax. Why? Because it is the relaxed muscle that has the most power.
Okay. Just a reminder, this is a message from God, from the big cheese, through Prometheus here, a Web3 entrepreneur who, if you can see on the screen, he misspelled entrepreneur. Hashtag Bitcoin consultancy misfit problem solver. Entrepreneur is misspelled, but he is here to give Alex Jones a message from the Most High. So I feel I just need to keep it like people. Again, the world of Alex Jones and InfoWars is something that is so foreign to most people. Like you only get glimpses of it sometimes in like social media shit. Like if he goes, like they're turning the freaking vote. Like if he goes viral for one of those things, that's when people know and see Alex Jones. But this is just like the regular shit. Like this is just how it is all the time. He does kind of sound like Dinesh D'Souza.
With the most brutality through the Holy Spirit, but it's a gentle brutality. It is to even remind these fools who are destroying our beloved earth, the coming kingdom of God. We have to feel even repentance and compassion for them. And I know you know that. I know at a deep level you actually know that. You've expressed that so many times. So that's the first thing. The next thing he told me to say to you is that do not fear about your financial woes, my friend. You are about to see abundance like you have never seen before. All right. Brian Rose is there. The man's a crypto expert.
God.
You know, there's a lot of token gated services and a bunch of other things that you can explore. We can have a chat about this another time, but the general message was very simple and clear. So, like the whole whatever you're in. Remember, Donald Trump was billions in
That's
debt.
fucking nuts.
Right? He walked past beggars.
All right, who do we got to mod? Who's sending ASCII art of boobs? All right, yeah, let me go over and look in the chat real quick. I will say though, that is some good ASCII art. Like that's probably against terms though. So Genner, no more, please. Okay. Yeah, no more. But I do appreciate the art. I am a big fan of the artistry. Good ASCII art.
And he said, you know, that man is richer
Did
than
I say ASCII art? ASCII. It's like you know when you see pictures on like GameFAQs made at the out of like computer symbols and shit? That's ASCII art. ASCII. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it's spelled. ASCII.
Because they don't have
nothing like an ascot now.
Back. And guess what? God used
yeah,
him,
Robo Twilight, you got it.
Pulled him out in the private business life to prepare him for the presidency where he is going to bring America out of this debt hole, okay? Trust that he is absolutely going to do this because
just literally trust the
when was
plan
the last
shit,
time
man.
You heard the Federal Reserve, right? Having its rates being dictated by a quote-unquote former president, okay? Look at his bodyguards. Look at his entourage.
By the way, let me just agree with you. The message you're saying is God's telling me be at peace. We're winning. Don't stress out. Just move forward and fight as hard as you can, but be calm when you do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I hope this is just confirmation for your spirit. And by the way, the same is true for everyone listening to this broadcast and beyond, all right? Another word he said, and you've been doing it this broadcast, is to go back on the road. Go back on the road, my friend. Go do what you're great at. Okay, God gave you.
Oh, no, my enemies have been trying to keep me off the road, so we're going to do a lot of that soon.
My enemies.
Yeah, exactly. And don't be afraid to be funny. All right, he put a master comedian in you, my friend. All right, wink, wink. All right, bring that man.
What?
Back. He is ready to come back. It for his like the greatest show.
No, for real. Like God said, don't stress by crypto. Okay, well, I think that's about it for this stream. I'm going to try and stream cast review stuff because I know we have. I'm starving and I am going to go get a pizza. But let's go over and say hi to. Wait, no, not what I wanted. No, stop it. Have a good one. Everybody stay in the chat. Don't go anywhere. We're going to do a raid. We go raid actual Jake. Go over, say hi. Be nice. Bring honor to my house. Do not. Oh fuck! Come on. Do not embarrass me. 69 viewers are waiting. Nice. And thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to watch and donate if you can. End of the month type stuff. I appreciate everybody for being here today and bearing with me through my long rants about video games and the Trump verdict. And thank you guys again. And I hope you all have a wonderful night.